why my screen is slightly tilted to like the right. I don't know. Like the stream. This whole thing sucks. Paying like $45 a month for this shit doesn't even work the way it's freaking supposed to. And then all the so-called alternatives are even worse than this.
Yeah, I can't stomach paying $45 a month for StreamYard when I do it like twice a month.
Yeah, that's a problem. These are first world problems. There's people getting bombed in other countries somewhere.
Right.
Making your way through the daily grind takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to tune away? All those nights when you're feeling low, the rent is overdue, and your coffee maker's broken, your luck just seems to skew, and your boss is always on your case. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed and you feel the dread. The morning's looking bleak, and your internet is down again. You haven't slept all week, and your car just broke down on the way. Be glad there's a place online where you can feel at ease. In the Barroom Podcast, friends, we share our thoughts and teas. Every story shared, every laugh so free. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. So here's to the moments we all hold dear, in this barroom of the airwaves with friends so near. Every story shared, every heartfelt cheer. It's more than just a podcast, it's where we steer. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. So tune in with Unwind, let the stories unfold. In this haven, voices where camaraderie is gold. The Barroom Podcast, your home away from home, where laughter is the language and you'll never be alone. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Now, I should probably take this off first. That will help out the show's quality tremendously. How's it going, everyone? We're here for episode 170 of the Ballroom Podcast. And I'm joined here with we might as well just call you the co-host at this point, our good buddy, Robert Motto. How you going?
Good. Using my government name, that's good. Not that it's a huge reach.
You've openly said that you hate being called Bob Motto, so I mean, you rep for Bob or Robert.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's so many options, and then Rick will throw in a Roberto. So, yeah, I'm fine. Just Warner Brothers is probably getting sold soon, and I mean, they've had a really, I do want to say, like, they've had a great turnaround from like where they were, because they've had successive movie hits where they're just like, okay, we got to get out now. This is not sustainable. We know what the movie market is. We know what, and that's fine. I understand it's a business, but it's disappointing because I love Warner Brothers. I love what that symbol means to me, the gangster movies and the movies that they made throughout the 1940s and 50s with Humphrey Bogart and a litany of stars, and just they continued that tradition with Martin Scorsese and his gangster films like Goodfellas and everything and Batman and DC Comics and Looney Tunes, all the things associated with Warner Brothers. Yeah. It's disappointing just that they were being sold, and then the whole, there's one less massive media company. It's down, down another number from I think 5 now to 4. So it's not looking good for the future for pop culture and multimedia in general.
No, we're definitely at a breaking point here, and there's a lot of potential fallout that a deal like this could bring. I know there's now talks about Netflix is going to at least try to submit a bid. Doesn't mean they're going to get accepted, but they're at least interested in throwing their name here. And like I say, it really comes down to, it's like, what is Warner Brothers' end game in this whole thing? Or are they just trying to hot potato this property to somebody else and just get out while they can because they see that the future isn't very bright? Because, look, I mean, we've talked about this for a while now. The whole, we're going to give James Gunn the keys to the castle for the DC universe is like, they needed Superman to be a home run, and they lost money. There's no way of dancing around it. They lost money on Superman, which means that every other project or property that they have now is completely cooked. There's no point of doing it. There's been so many reboots. There's been so many canceled projects. Like, it's an absolute mess, and they're already billions upon billions of dollars in debt. So are they just trying to hand this off to anyone else who's going to hot potato this property here the next 5 to 10 years? Because that's essentially what we've been doing since like 2001 with everything that revolving around Warner Brothers and Time Warner and all this other stuff. Or, and this is why I say, like, do not sleep on the Saudi option. If you're $45-50 billion in debt and you just want to make out like a bandit and give your property to someone who has the money to afford it, there aren't very many people in the world at the moment that could clear all of those check boxes that Warner Brothers definitely needs outside of some kind of investment from the Saudi investment authority. And that's pretty much where it is. But yeah, I mean, there's fallout here talking about, what's going to happen to Discovery as a result of this, because I liked Discovery before they merged with Warner Brothers. I didn't really mess with Warner Brothers, but then they merged back in 2021, and then they kind of like moved everything in together. Now they're trying to re-separate everything again, and it's been a whole mess over there. There's talks about if either Saudi or if Netflix buys Warner Brothers and AEW is dead because they're not going to have a TV deal on a network that WWE's already on, so there's fallout there. We have a lot of these superhero properties that are going to be public domain here in a few years because it's coming up on that 100-year mark, so there's a lot of uncertainty about what's actually happening here, and it's the nature of the business, but like I said, I believe that the media bubble is widely getting ready to burst, and I think that anyone who's been paying attention has seen it coming for a while, and I think now the companies realize that we have a very, very short time to not lose our ass on what's about to happen, and I think Warner Brothers is probably one of the smartest ones first of getting out of here. I mean, Paramount's already been sold and shuffled out. Disney's trying to stay afloat, but they're bleeding money in as much as they're taking in money. So it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing goes. Well, we do have people joining us in the chat. I will remind you guys here, we are live on all 3 platforms here tonight, but we won't be for very much longer. In November, we will be going Rumble exclusive for the Ballroom podcast. So we're here on YouTube, Rumble, and X at the moment, but we will be going to Rumble and X starting in November. So I will give you guys the link to the Rumble platform. So if you guys don't have a Rumble, go make an account over there so you guys can watch us over there as well. But we do have a few people joining us here tonight. Sakura Mita asks us a question here, saying that which movie that captures Christianity right during the Middle Ages, the knights and all that stuff. Here's a controversial answer. I don't know if there is one, because if we're talking about that specific time period, all you're going to get are essentially movies from the Roman Catholic Church that are sympathetic to like the Crusades and the Inquisitions, and we can have a big debate about whether that's actually showing Christianity right or not, because in a lot of aspects, people forget that a lot of the people who were killed during that time period were other Christians, though they were the ones who opposed the papacy, so it really depends on which one you're talking about. I know me and Rob talked about this a while back ago. Remember the movie that Scorsese did? Was it Silence? I actually really like Silence. I know you and Rick had completely different views on that movie, but I actually really did like that film. But like I said, it's in the same realm, so really it's purely subjective as far as that goes. But do you have anything you can think of?
Yeah, not a whole lot comes to mind with this, but and again, I think it's going to echo what you were saying. But it was a Kingdom of Heaven, the Ridley Scott movie, which, by the way, watch the director's cut if you're going to watch it, which of course is the longer version. But it has more of like Ed Norton, the guy who has leprosy. You don't even know it's Ed Norton, by the way. He's behind like the mask or whatever. Or,
Yeah.
I forget what the character he even plays. He's like the king, like some type of royalty. But anyway, not important. But anyway, I would say that, but that's just kind of epic, big scale movie making. I can't say that it like gets Christianity right. I mean, I don't know. That's in what Robin Hood is a sort of like a slightly associated with it just because the Crusades are going on during that, but not really. You know what I mean?
And then that's the other kind of elephant in the room conversation is like, are you really expecting an industry like Hollywood to get Jesus Christ right? Like, do you understand the industry that you're talking about here? So, like I said, we may not have one if we're really going to comb through it with a fine-tooth comb. But I mean, this is probably the closest options you can possibly pick from there.
Yeah, so I agree. I absolutely agree.
What else we got here? Neozoic joining us here as well. He says, "What's your favorite movie of all time?" This is favorite movie, not greatest movie ever, but what's your favorite? I always go back to Stand By Me, the 1986 film. It's just one of my favorites. I watched it all the time as a kid. We watched it not too long ago. It still holds up as a great movie. So that's always my go-to answer. We talk about favorite movies of all time.
Oh, okay. This is a loaded question. I'm just going to try to list as many as I can. So, Blade Runner, Once Upon a Time in America, Once Upon a Time in the West, The Outlaw Josie Wales, The French Connection. I'm really fucking coming up short here. Casablanca, The Maltese Falcon. I mean, literally, I can just go on and on and on and on and on here. Treasure of the Sierra Madre, Barry Lyndon, 2001, A Clockwork Orange. You know what I mean? There's just too many to get into here, but those are just some of my favorites,
I'm just going to be a contrarian and say Heathers and Night of the Comet. So there you go. There's a couple other ones you can throw out there. Leslie Tarkin here joining us on the Rumble side of things. I think you're on both platforms at the moment. Keith is joining us over on YouTube for tonight's show. We have Vanya joining us here. Keith saying that he will make a new Rumble account by November. Yeah, so like I said, 2 weeks we'll be on Rumble. Neil Zoic has a question here. So what's your thoughts on the whole situation with Sam Piker and Twitch? There's been a lot of things going on with Twitch over the course of the last several weeks. And the Sam Piker thing, I mean, it's like, at this point, we kind of all know who Hassan is. Like, he's just human garbage, and I don't think there's really much debate to be had there. The whole thing with him and his dog I think just further proves what a garbage individual he is. But did you see this whole thing with this, like, woman who I've never heard of? Like, listen, I'm just being real. I don't know who any of these Twitch streamers are. I don't watch Twitch. Like, I don't watch people just sit in front of a camera for, like, several hours on and talking to, like, I mean, I know we do live content here, but just to watch people kind of just sit in front of the computer for 6 hours is just not interesting content for me. But there was some woman who... some dude just ran up and tried to kiss her or something like that, like right in front of the convention. And then there was talks about how they forced her to cut corners on security or something like that, and it was this whole big thing. And this happened, I believe, in San Diego, because I think that's where TwitchCon actually is. But it's getting to a point where a lot of these people are... The lines are being blurred between just because you know someone online does not mean that you go back in the day with that person, like you actually know him. It's like just because you donate endless amounts of money to your favorite, Twitch stock does not mean that she actually cares about you on a human level basis. Like, it's just not how this works, right? So this was something that happened, I guess a couple days ago or over the weekend. Yeah, just some random girl, like I said, you guys know who the streamer's name is, tell me, but just some random dude just comes up and does this.
Whoa.
I think you can hear her say, "No, get off of me." And then, of course, the security, comes in and, drags the guy away. And then this poor schlub over here just, standing there, looking as awkward as possible because he doesn't know what the hell just happened either. But, I mean, look, Twitch is just not a great place. It's just not. Like, the whole thing with Twitch is that people who actually built solid audiences there were usually gamers who did a lot of, Let's Plays or, online content like on there. Then over the course of like the last decade, it kind of shifted into the IRL sector where you have people like, I Show Speed and I forget the other dude's name. But, you guys know the typical guys who do that. Now they're just bouncing from like Twitch to Kick to YouTube and all this other stuff. And it's like it's just a medium that I just don't understand like whatsoever. So it's just like to me, it goes completely over my head. What's kind of your take on this?
Yeah, I've never been a big Twitch user or in any capacity. I mean, I think I uploaded a few like clips on like Madden. You know what I mean? Using it as like a video game streaming thing, but that's literally it. I've never understood watching other people play video games. I just don't get that. My brothers are much more into video games, so like, I'm sure they might find that interesting. So the platform really never held much interest for me, but then it became, and I don't know, maybe people that are more familiar with it will disagree with me, but it felt exploitative with the whole like bikini girls in the bathtub, exercising in, short, skimpy outfits. You know what I mean? It's like we all know what that is. We all know what you're doing, and that's whatever. You know what I mean? It's a free country, it's a free market, whatever. But that's kind of Twitch's reputation in my eyes. And then this whole thing with, look, Hassan Piker's a fucking idiot anyway. You know what I mean? He's somebody that shouldn't be listened to. He's like Destiny in my eyes. That's kind of just how I consider him. So the thing with the dog is just kind of like, okay, why would you allow that to be seen on camera? It's almost like, he doesn't seem like a completely stupid guy. I mean, I just called him an idiot, but you know what I mean? He's intelligent enough to like you know what I mean? Like grift and have this audience and whatever.
He's a creep.
But I just don't understand the whole, like, I'm going to shock a dog and it's like not even think about it. A, it's a sociopathic behavior. And then B, it's just like, did you not even connect like the negative? Do you know what I mean? And I guess what I'm saying is like, are you not even gonna be like a good like villain? You're just gonna like openly on camera where people can go back and replay it over and over and over again that you shocked, your dog.
But see, these are the people who live in these echo chambers in the left where they think that they're just good people solely because they support like LGBTQ rights and that they're all free Palestine and all this little nonsense. So then all the other patterns of behavior of being a garbage person goes completely out of their warehouse because essentially they judge good and evil based on political opinions. And like I said, I don't know who. There's another video out there where he was at that No Kings protest, which is the anti-Trump nonsense, and a couple of trans people.
They shot firecrackers even at a protest. They shot firecrackers, and every one of them started running away, fucking scared out of their mind. Oh no, we're gonna have to play Charlie Kirk. Fuck off, Hassan.
That's the thing. It's like he's. Then a couple of like weird tranny people like showed up to him. He looks like so uncomfortable, and it was like, bro, that's your fan base. Like that's the people who you have cultivated over the course of the last several years with all your like commie nonsense. It's like don't sit there and try to be like oh get away from me. Like here's a video here, which is it's like only like 11 seconds, but it's pretty funny.
Hi. I just wanted to meet you. Nice to meet you. My hero for sure.
He's never touched another person in his life. This is the reason why he's fucking.
Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? The second he shook this trans person's hand, he immediately went to like wiping his hands on his shirt.
Hi. I just wanted to meet you. Nice to meet you. My hero for sure. Nice to meet you.
Thank
you for being here. Thank you. All right.
Aloe vera hands.
Kaya.
Yeah, so it's like this whole thing is just clown world. Like this whole thing is just a clown show at this point.
Is there a battery hooked up to his dog leash there?
No.
To make sure his dog doesn't fucking jump on the people?
I like how he put press on his bulletproof flak jacket there to make it seem like that he's actually someone important.
I can only hope that was bait so that ICE can fucking take him to the ground and fucking handcuff him. kick him in the head a couple of times. Fuck Hassan.
I'm getting but first of all, hi Eddie. We can actually formally introduce you, but I'm getting.
Oh, hi guys. Hi everybody.
You're not a big fan of Mr. Piker.
I think he is an absolute hack, and he's a piece of junk. And his fans are nothing but weirdos and losers. There's nothing more disgusting than a man who has to fucking show his dominance over a weaker being by shocking their dog because they wanted to fucking stretch their legs out a little bit. He can go to hell for all I know. And I'm not going to say anything religious because he's a religious kind of person. Those kind of people don't like dogs, so it might be that kind of a thing too. But I'm not going to go there, but I'm going to say that this guy just doesn't like people. He doesn't like animals. He doesn't like anybody. The only person he likes is himself. And I can only hope that when he jerks off to himself every night, that he thinks to himself, man, at least I can wrap a fucking collar around my neck and shock myself. Maybe I'll get off then.
Mm-hmm. You think at this moment he's thinking to himself that trans women are real women?
I like her dress. No, I like her. If I'm doing a side-by-side comparison, I like her dress.
You think at this moment he's thinking to himself, oh yeah, a couple of hot chicks are really into me right now.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, some more fucking marks to take $500, $700 from.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this is the face of the resistance, right here. I just want you. This is the face of the resistance.
Good job, Shink.
Isn't he Chink Jr. though? Isn't he?
Yeah,
like,
he's Chink.
Nephew.
Yeah, he's a nephew or whatever. I don't know. They all marry their cousins over there.
In the Middle East. Yeah. Well,
I was thinking like upscale New York, but yeah, that too.
And Indians too. Like, what the fuck is? Never mind. It's fine. Like, look. You know what? I'm not gonna say it's fine. But it's none of my business. So I'm just trying to avoid as many things as possible at this point. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry. It just please.
They are backwards people in backwards hands. That's why their horses have humps on them, and we call them camels.
Isn't it
weird
in a
how like dental call center for like 2 years? So we're all good there.
I like how like 10 years ago, like the whole it was. You guys remember the whole like conversation that Gavin had with like Joe Rogan a while back ago? He was like, "Oh no, there's actually a lot of inbreeding there." And Joe Rogan was like, "Oh, I've never heard about that." And now it's like everyone knows. They're all just like, maybe that's why that there's such a violence problem in the Middle East, because they're literally just like the hills have eyes in real life. Like you think that maybe that has a little something to do with it, that their lack of impulse control.
You're right. They either fuck their cousins or they blow up.
They oppress women. That's why. It's the out of balance of the sexes or something.
It's even worse because by proxy they're oppressing their own family members, because it's not just like,
right. I also think it's funny that the people, when people, I mean women, when they say that like that they're oppressed or they live in the patriarchy and shit, it's like no, in the Middle East that's a patriarchy. Like that's like you don't have rights. You like are. I mean,
and they
you're
support
not property, but it's close.
This is what I mean about demonic and stupid. It's like they literally think that they can have two completely opposing viewpoints simultaneously. It's like, guys, you can't be pro LGBTQ and pro Islam. You have to pick one or the other. You can't be both.
It's called taqueria. It's called taqueria. And if the gays don't pay the jizya, then for some reason we're not going to be able to fucking live in harmony.
I wouldn't even trust that jizya. Then all that's going to do is have you in the back of like somebody's like '93 Jeep wagon with like a knife stuck to your arm. It's like it's not going to go well. Yeah, this is good.
I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
Yes.
No, in real
life.
No, in real life.
That's the best part. It's like, no, in real life.
Oh, in real life. Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't even play Minecraft. Fuck Hassan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got a lot of people joining us here for tonight's episode. I see Vanya, I got Keith, I got Neozoic, Terminator Joe. I see this freaking goober over here, condescending Josh joining us here tonight. Who else do we got here? Lisa Dawn joining us here. Beautiful joining us. Yeah, it might have something to do with the inbreeding. Who knows? If there's only a book that said you probably shouldn't marry your family members, and people just listen to you, probably be.
Isn't Hassan a communist? Doesn't that make sense now? The 60, 70 IQ?
Yeah, he is a communist. Well, that, who knows? There could be some inbreeding there too as well. So,
good job, Chink.
Way to go, guys. Well, yeah, so we got a few topics to talk about here tonight over the course of tonight's show. So let's go ahead and start it off with what many people are calling the greatest postseason performance of all time that took place a few days ago with Shohei Ohtani, who totally cannot speak English because if he did, he would be implicated in a gambling scandal. The same one, even worse than the one that blacklisted Pete Rose, but because, Mio speaking no English or something like that, he got away with it completely and his interpreter took the fall. But don't look past that. That doesn't really matter in the context of this story. A couple years ago, Ohtani, who started off with the Angels, he started in Japan, obviously, but then he went to the Angels. Then he moved up the freeway to the Dodgers, won a World Series with that completely rigged system they got over there in LA. And then after beating the Milwaukee Brewers, they're on their way to another World Series. They're going to be playing the Toronto Blue Jays. So yes, we do have to choose between LA and Canada for the current World Series championship. So that just goes to show you the state of baseball in 2025. But Shohei Ohtani both pitched and batted in the clinching game for the series. He hit 3 home runs in the game, including one that went completely out of the stadium. By the way, he also pitched 6 innings and had 10 strikeouts. And many people are calling it the greatest postseason performance of all time. Here's a little bit of the performance kind of symbolized here in just a couple of minutes.
Oh, it's the Dodgers. I'll be back.
Curio strikes out in LCS. In game 4 of the LCS, and there goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. And a swing and a miss. Ohtani deals for the Brewers. And a swing and a miss. Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Great. Whoa. Is it a swing? It is. Chance to come right back on the mound. Strikeouts through 5 innings. 1 and 2 on Terrain. And a swing and a miss. Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again!
So what this proved basically is that the Milwaukee Brewers were certified frauds, as going into the postseason with the best record in baseball, they ended up getting swept by the Dodgers. They barely beat the Cubs, if we're being honest with ourselves, so they were complete and total frauds. But yeah, a lot of talk about Shohei Ohtani's performance a couple of nights ago. People are calling it the greatest thing that they've ever seen. Here's another video here from Jared from, I want to say, Underdog podcast, the Underdog Fantasy podcast, but basically talking about, Ohtani's performance here. I'll pop this back up so you guys can see it. There you go.
By this point, everyone has seen or heard what Shohei did. If you look at the box score and you're like, wow, Shohei threw 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts and he hit 3 home runs, like that's crazy. But to sit there and watch it, he's striking guys out by throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour, and he literally hit a ball. One of his 3 home runs went over the fucking roof at Dodger Stadium.
To be fair, I've only seen 3 people in Dodger Stadium history do that. I think one was Mark McGwire. The other one was Juan Carlos Stanton hit one completely out of the stadium. That was probably the furthest one I've ever seen anyone hit. And then I think there was like one guy in the 90s who I can't think of off the top of my head, but he hit one pretty far too. So it is kind of impressive to actually knock a ball outside of Dodger Stadium, especially if you've actually been there.
You did it against the team that had more wins than anyone else in baseball. You did it
frauds
in the game that sent the Dodgers back to the World Series. Like even the biggest
that is baseball. They had the
Shohei
handicap Milwaukee.
Like, all right, fine, like that. Like it was the best single game performance in baseball history.
A dude is out there blowing 100+ miles an hour. He's punching out your favorite hitter. He is your favorite pitcher. He is your favorite hitter. He's doing it all in the same damn game at the same damn time. This is the most valuable player to have on your team in whatever it is you're doing.
So there's a lot to go into here. Obviously, none of us are Dodger fans, to say the least here. And it's the whole situation with the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani is just really, really scummy and really, really dirty. Because, I mean, they gave him a $700 million contract where the overwhelming majority of that was completely deferred so that they can essentially sign a whole bunch of other guys to create a super team. They literally rigged the game of baseball just to load up LA because... just like all the other major sports leagues, it's like, well, if LA is big, then our league is big. So we got to make sure that LA has a great competitive team, and New York has a great competitive team, and Chicago has a. They always overload like the big markets because the small markets like Oklahoma City just don't draw, brother. That doesn't work for me, Daddy-O. And that's a whole conversation for itself. Let's just talk about what happened with Shohei Ohtani. Rob, I know you're not the biggest baseball fan, but I'm pretty sure you've heard exactly what happened here. What's kind of your thoughts on Ohtani as a player? Because he's getting comparisons to Babe Ruth and all the greatest players that have ever played the game, and we'll see kind of where his trajectory goes here. If he's gonna, I don't know if he's gonna be kind of around as long as Ichiro did, but because he's played a lot of time in Japan here too. But it's seeming like he's already well on his way to. It's like Hall of Fame at best, but a lot of people already call him the greatest hitting pitcher of all time, and it doesn't seem like there's anything to go against that. So, what's kind of your take?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's impressive, no matter how you want to cut it. Just the individual game performance and just his talent. I mean, they kind of knew this when they were bringing him over that he could potentially be a whatever the equivalent is nowadays, 12, 15 game starter, winning. Game winner, while like absolutely hitting 50 home runs, 120 RBI a year on at the plate. So just like a guy who's a freak of an athlete, because as we know throughout baseball history, very few people have this skill. Almost nobody does. Babe Ruth comes to mind, but everybody points out that he played in a different era where players weren't nearly as talented and whatever. So who knows? Babe Ruth was an incredible player. That's really why he's remembered regardless of the competition. I mean, there was an incredible amount of talent at the time. So it's just the average player now in Major League Baseball is arguably more talented than at that time. But, it's just kind of boring seeing the Dodgers just do well year after year. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. We got that one World Series in 2028. And then like back in 1995, I think, up against the Indians, but or 96.
No, it was 95.
95. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I mean, and that's fine. Like I'll try to watch some playoff baseball when I can. I think it's great what the Mariners did this year. I was really rooting for them to get to their first World Series. They've never been there, but didn't happen. Toronto won Game 7, so. It's just going to be another, LA, Toronto World Series. I'm sure LA will win in 4 games. But, who knows?
Gentleman sweep.
Maybe Toronto has good pitching. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. So, but hey, no, it's good for Shohei Ohtani. The idea like that he's the greatest player of all time is a little ridiculous, especially since he's only been in Major League Baseball for what, 2 seasons, 3 seasons? So
no, he's been in the major leagues now for what, since?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. He was with the Angels. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, he's been in the major leagues I think since 2018. I want to say
2018. Him and Mike Trout were like just knocking the ball out of the park. So yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean that's bad. That's even worse for the Angels because it's like the Angels had 2 generational players in the same lineup and didn't win. They didn't even come close to winning anything. Like, it was literally just Trout and Ohtani and a bunch of scrubs, and that's kind of the reason why he left.
But yeah, it's just longevity. I think like the argument of like, is he going to be the greatest player of all time? It's like, okay, here's the thing, and maybe this is full of shit because like Barry Bonds lasted for a while, but bigger guys don't tend to last a really long time. Now, maybe he's just a freak athlete and it doesn't matter, but like, I don't know. And maybe it doesn't matter because it's like he's a power hitter and that can translate over a long career. So it's just about, is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to be consistent? And I mean, I don't see anything really slowing him down at this point. So it's just going to take time and we'll see how his career turns out.
Yeah, Eddie, obviously you're not the biggest fan of the Dodger Bros. I wonder why. Maybe it's
Yeah, but
geographical location.
Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either. So
the Dodgers, they screwed over the Bay Area three-peat back in 1991. I hate Kirk Gibson with every bone in my body. I know everyone thinks that he's a miracle man or whatever. Fuck Kirk Gibson. Not as much as Hassan, but he's ruined Eckersley's fucking amazing game. That was a damn near perfect game. And then but I can't. That's ancient history. By the way, I'm absolutely surprised. I'm surprised the FBI didn't break the doors down when we showed baseball footage. I remember back in the day that actually constituted. You had to get written permission and shit. So,
well, remember, for some reason, Major League Baseball is more lenient with their coverage or their footage than the WWE is. WWE will nuke your stream in 3 seconds if you show anything on their stream.
It's a complete 180, 360, whatever you want to call it nowadays. When it comes to Ohtani, I'm surprised that this guy is actually as big as he is. I was surprised that, I don't follow baseball, but, for a Japanese man, he's pretty big. So, great game. That's an accomplishment, but I don't know if he's the greatest of all time. I don't know how many beers and hot dogs he put down, but I know Babe Ruth put down at least 20 before he went up to bat. And I don't know. When you think about it, he may be one of the greatest baseballers of all time. He's definitely the greatest player probably this century. That 21st. But. All time, dude, Babe Ruth literally played with the entire Field of Dreams. So,
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's definitely, I would say, in the modern context, probably. I mean, I'm trying to think of who would be considered in between Bonds, because it's there
Bonds is Bonds is the top of the. I'd see that'd be the greatest player of all time for me. Maybe a little bit lower than Ruth or whatever, the Mount Rushmores. Mm-hmm. But Bonds was that was a once in a generation player and everything. I don't know if Ohtani reaches that yet.
I've quoted Greg Maddux a couple of times, but he said that Barry Bonds was the easiest person in the world to pitch to because if it mattered, you just walked him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's what you call a threat. And I don't know if Ohtani is up to that point yet.
It's they used to walk Barry Bonds with the bases loaded. That's how scary Barry Bonds was as a player.
And that's without the steroids. So
yeah. So
I mean, Albert Pujols was pretty good for a while there. But I don't think he ever got to the level of Barry Bonds or.
You brought up Atlanta, Clipper Jones, one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen.
Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones, one of the greatest players I've ever seen.
The way he wrecked the Mets specifically.
Right.
The way he just fucked with the Mets specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was a lot of great players from the 90s and the 2000s, and then we had a couple try to come in from this era, but they've mostly been pitchers, which I think is probably part of the reason why you haven't really had that superstar, because all the the really, really great pitchers, great players in the last, let's say, 10, 15-ish years have all been pitchers, and pitchers aren't exactly as sexy as like big league hitters, you know? And
right.
It's just the way that it's always been.
Yeah, they all can't be Roger Clemens, you know. They all can't be superstars, you know.
Unless you're going to go out there and rock a mullet and throw 101 miles an hour like Randy Johnson, it's like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Oh, dude, and you're 6'8" and 6'9".
Yeah, right.
But I like the guy, like the lesser known guys, like Albert Bell and Mo Vaughn, and Larry Walker and
Cameron.
Yeah, these guys they could absolutely that 1 year Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs and never again it was like he was juicing. Yeah. Or Rafael Palmeiro or any Juan Gonzalez, these guys that could have 40 home run seasons, and it's just like that you just don't see that anymore, you know. And that was my favorite time for baseball was when everyone was juicing.
Yeah, Kirby Puckett is one of my favorite players of all time when I was growing up, just because I remember just him. He was a quiet hitter too. Like he still knocked out 30, 35 every year, but you wouldn't notice until the Twins won the series that 1 year.
I gotta play this here. I think I might have shown Rob this a while back ago, but I just want to show it here on the stream. Like this was back in the day, in the good old days of baseball, where they let people use steroids and didn't like have a moral stick up their butt about it. This is Sammy Sosa. This home run was estimated at 525 feet. I actually think it went further. So this is how far he hit this one.
This is the footage the FBI is going to barge in for.
Yeah, all right.
Sammy Sosa homered tonight for the first time in this ballpark since mid-April. He's got to feel like the weight of the world's off his shoulders at home. That was his 8th home run of the year. He scored twice tonight. There's another bomb way out of this ballpark. That one's down Kenmore.
Oh my God.
And down the street. That one, folks, is one of the longest tape measures.
You know it's long when the camera just points at the sky and assumes the ball's there.
I want you guys to understand what just happened. He hit a ball so far, it went completely out of the stadium, hit the tree across the street from the stadium. Everyone all the way in the back of the ballpark were looking behind him. That's how far he hit this ball. Like, you can see the people, like, standing up looking behind, like, trying to figure out where the ball went.
Up there somewhere. Still going.
There's some poor schmuck walking down the street with his groceries, minding his own business.
Right.
He just got fucking beamed on the baseball.
The worst part is it's Milwaukee again. The Milwaukee Brewers are cursed.
Oh man! And then somebody had literally like brought up the footage from like was it 1999 when they were trying to build their stadium and then it collapsed and a few guys died. It's like it's just not been a good history for the Milwaukee Brewers fans. No. It just has not been at all. But yeah, no, that was the baseball that we used to enjoy, kids. You'll never see it again. And no matter what, it's the one thing to take away is that Shohei Ohtani definitely did not bet on baseball. That certainly did not happen.
I'll say this. The fact that pitchers, it's weird. Like when we were growing up, sports was like the big hitters and the dunkers. When you're watching the basketball, the guys who can slam dunk the hardest, Sean Kemp and guys like Akeem Olajuwon, stuff like those guys, right? Mm-hmm. Like that was what we grew up on. Nowadays, it's all pitchers and 3-point shooters. And like all this stuff that seems to just make the game not nearly as exciting, any game not nearly as exciting as it used to be.
Yeah, no, a lot of the modern players are just gay. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, there's just no.
I can be it too.
To put it. Yeah, it's just, like I know, like the start of the NBA season is on tonight. So if anyone cares about basketball, you can go watch that. They got like 39-year-old Kevin Durant still pretending like he's a top star in the league, and he fleeced another organization out of like $150 million. It's just
they benched Bronny, so now there might be a chance to make the NBA watchable again.
Well, Bronny's killing it in the G League allegedly. So
yeah, allegedly. He bricks more than what's her name from the WNBA, Angelina Chilami or whatever.
Angel Reese.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're trying so hard to turn her into a sex symbol. She's like, guys, just stop. Like, please just stop. Yeah, that's it. That's our baseball talk. Gun to your head, who would you rather see win the World Series, Toronto or LA?
Blue Jays.
Yeah, I'd say the Blue Jays.
I would have to say the same here too, only because I feel like they rigged the league in favor of the Dodgers. But then again, like I said, that means that Drake and Justin Trudeau are going to be happy, and that's not good either. So I mean, yeah.
Can I also another small little rant? I hate that all of these teams are stealing each other's colors. Like I know blue and white have always been the Dodgers and always have always been the Blue Jays. But I saw like what was it, the Cincinnati Reds, right? I don't know how the Reds started having the Giants color, the San Francisco Giants colors for their uniforms.
Yeah, and
I'm like, what the hell?
I'm also not a fan of like the Padres colors like at all. Like they got like this weird like Miami neonish type color, and that doesn't work for them either. Then they went back to like the old doo-doo brown and mustard jerseys from the 80s, and it's like there's a reason why you fucking got rid of those jerseys. They suck. They're not good.
But like, pinstripes on those next time are even uglier.
The City Connect jerseys. I don't care who. Like if you like your team's City Connect jersey, you better be like the Atlanta Braves or like the Boston Red Sox, because 28 other City Connect jerseys look like fucking garbage. Look like vomit. I mean, the Phillies. I'm like, what the hell are you people doing? Like, I think that's what it is. But yeah, the Padres went for, because growing up, the Padres, it was those gray. It was gray with dark blue and orange. Yeah, when Tony Gwynn was on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like those. Even the ones they kind of did in like, the 2004 when they kind of did like, it was like the sand color, and then they kind of did like a military get up. Like those were actually fine, just a straight kind of like navy blue and whites. But yeah, to go back to literally the toilet bowl colors, it's like, man, stop. Why are we doing this? Rick, gun to your head, who are you rooting for? Toronto or the Dodgers?
Toronto.
Yeah, that's unanimous there. No,
everybody hates LA.
Well, so like, is
there a reason to like LA?
Oh,
we love LA.
I just wanted to ask here. So the thing with Dodger fans being violent sociopaths, is that a generalization, or is it Dodger Stadium has been mentioned as a dangerous place? Yeah. And so I'm just like, what is it about the location? What is it about? It
got reamped. No, it's the fans. If you look at the location, I've been to Dodger Stadium a few times. It's like the location is not that bad. It's like it's sort of like between like Burbank and basically Hollywood. Like it's not a bad location, but it's the fan base. It's like 60% of the Dodgers fan base is just drunk, violent Mexicans. Yeah. Like I don't know.
They're all holdovers from when the Raiders were there.
Yeah, exactly. When the Raiders left, they didn't have anyone else to go to.
You think I would be fine if I went to Dodger Stadium? I'm sure I could blend in quite easily.
Yeah.
Rick, you would do great at SoFi Stadium. Because I'd like to point out that there are more San Francisco 49er fans at SoFi Stadium than there are fucking LA Rams fans.
It's almost as if the wrong team came back.
I know.
but that's the thing.
I think the fans are what makes the Dodgers rather unlikable. I went to a Diamondbacks Dodgers game late a few years ago, and the Diamondbacks actually won. But at the end, all the Dodgers fans started chanting, "Let's go Dodgers!" I mean, they felt like they had won. They lost. I was like, "You guys lost. Why are you cheering? You lost." But I don't know.
Well, at least they didn't start a Puto chant, so there's that.
Yeah. they're like when Boston. It's like in Boston. Like if you go to I don't know what it's called, but Fenway, they still, no matter if they're winning or losing, they still sing "Sweet Caroline."
Yeah.
Like, shut up with that garbage.
Yeah, and then the other thing was like the big story from like 15 years ago is when Dodger fans like beat like a Giants fan into a coma or something like that. That happened.
Oh, dude, there was literal fucking street wars over that shit later, like a couple of weeks afterward.
Like I said, it's the same thing like when the Chargers were in San Diego, and it'd be like, oh, Chargers-Raiders week, so we know someone's getting arrested this week, because every time you get a bunch of Mexicans together, they start stabbing each other in the parking lot after 3 or 4 Coronas, and it's the same thing there, except for, when they take their Raiders jersey off to put on their Dodger hats. It's the same group of people.
And sometimes those Dodger fans, they're remarkably fickle, because I remember when they, at one point, they were like throwing the jerseys onto the field when they were losing. It's just
it's not a likable fan base. Like I said, it's like 60% cholos, it's like 20% asshole Hollywood celebrities and producers, and then like you may have like a 5% variant of normies is somewhere sprinkled in there, and then the other 50% are like Japanese people.
But like spoiled Burbank normies. Like, they're not even, like, normal normies. They're not, like, Midwest normies.
They're California normies.
Right.
Again, I'm telling you, I think I would fit in well if I went to Dodger Stadium and wore, some blue, and I have a blue cap. So, it's like, I'll be like, ese Holmes, ¿qué?
Rick, you're begging me to just make a West Hollywood joke, because they're very close to West Hollywood, just in case you haven't been to the stadium location, so...
I've never been to Dodger Stadium. I'd like to, and it's not far from the Getty Center. It's like an hour drive from the Getty Center, so that would be me. I would actually go to the Getty Museum and then go to Dodger Stadium. So
this is where we need to send ice. Yeah, we need to send ice to Dodger Stadium
Dodger
because
Stadium,
obviously there's a lot of dangerous individuals of Hispanic origin, whether they are citizens or not. Just kidding.
But I want to just pick up
100%.
Ohtani because he's not a citizen.
I would call ICE just for the sole purpose of,
special.
hey, maybe it wouldn't take me an hour to get back to Interstate 5 after I leave the stadium.
Afuera!
Listen, I've been to Oakland Coliseum, okay? It was the second to last game there. And it was, listen, I've been to a lot of stadiums. The Redskins Stadium is a piece of shit. But that Oakland Coliseum was the worst stadium I've ever been in.
It is a dog bowl. It is a dog bowl.
California, I don't know who was designing stadiums in like the 60s for California, but it's like you put Qualcomm, Coliseum, Candlestick Park all together in one. It was like someone was not thinking very far ahead with a lot of those stadiums. They did not age well at all.
Angel Stadium is showing its age, I think. But at
least they've renovated it right recently, right?
Oh,
at least they've renovated it to a degree, but it's like,
when I went, it was showing its age. But I think Chase so far has not been my favorite because I found it very difficult to kind of go around. I had to go to my seats. I had to go through like the posh section to get to my cheap section, and I thought the geography was a little bizarre. But I went back, and it wasn't as bad as I remembered it. I went earlier this year, so that was so far. I have to admit, I still like Kauffman. That's my favorite. It was a day game, and it was Cinco de Mayo, and I was the only Mexican there, but everyone else was
Everyone
wearing
to shake his hand.
Yeah, and all the sombrero, and everyone was wearing the sombreros and the sarapes, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized, oh, it's May 5th. So I just enjoyed walking around the stadium shouting Cinco de Mayo at everyone, and they would always shout it back at me.
You're such a waspy Mexican. You're the only Hispanic person who actually forgot it was Cinco de Mayo.
Right. You have to look at the calendar to remind himself he was Mexican.
My mind was very occupied on that day. I had the Royals game in the daytime, and then I went to see Audra McDonald perform at night. So I was completely overwhelmed with.
Meanwhile, you got like white people who've been day drinking since like 2.
Yes, it was just strange to see all of these white people and black people with the sombreros and the sarapes, and I'm like, look, I'm not offended. I don't think this is cultural appropriation. I think you look stupid, but as long as you don't drink and drive, I'll be fine.
What is serape?
It's that kind of heavy, not coat, but it's that big thing that people would wear as kind of a poncho. Kind of a poncho.
There's a Mexican restaurant chain in Olympia called El Serape. So I was just curious.
Well, we have a Serape. It's not a chain, but we have 3 restaurants called Serape near in El Paso, and I live near one of them, walking distance.
That's a chain. I didn't mean like a fast food, or you know what I mean, a corporate chain. I just mean a chain of restaurants.
It could be, but I like their carne asada. It's quite good.
It's like it's kind of like a serape is kind of like the thing that Clint Eastwood wore in Good and Bad and the Ugly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just a poncho to me.
If you ever saw the Simpsons episode where he decided to go back into the 60s, where Homer was like, but poncho, that's a serape.
but the poncho. Yeah.
You know, I went back to California last month. You know what I don't miss?
This is like every event in El Paso.
Right now, seriously, isn't this every ice cream truck that goes by your house?
I'm not joking. If you go to either San Diego or LA and just turn on the radio, there are like 10 stations that sound exactly like this.
Well, in fairness, no, they're playing like Juan Gabriel and
they're playing good stuff.
Selena. I mean, that's what you listen to. That's like older. I mean, maybe
Vicente Fernandez. Dinero, tu tengo por ahí.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar. Lo único que tengo es amor para amar. Y así tú me
I just bought a Peruvian.
Juan Gabriel was from Juarez, so he was like Diego de Juarez. He's like, there's a statue of him across the border, probably not far from my house. And you can go to his house now too. It's like not quite like Graceland, but it's getting there. And there's going to be a documentary on Netflix about it too. So Check those out.
As much as I love to spend all day talking about Mexicans, we do have to move on to other topics here. So,
What's wrong with talking about me?
Well, there's a new movie coming out here called what is this? I don't even know what the hell this thing is called. Is it called
It's all baloney.
Bologna. We'll just call it that from now.
My baloney has a first name.
Babalu.
I don't know what's going on here with Emma Stone and whoever this. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Some sort of Y. This
Yorgos.
Lanthimos. You know, now to think about it.
Is he actually Spanish, or that's how you guys pronounce
That's a sexy ass name.
You could have gone to seen the movie for free.
You just had, yeah.
I literally would have grew my hair out in protest, like spite. Like, yeah. So there's a couple things that are happening here. One, it seems like these two have some kind of weird connection thing going on here, because this is now like the fourth movie that they've been a part of. It seems like he's only doing movies starring Emma Stone where she's playing some variant of a psychopath. Is that fair to say?
What's wrong with that? She's his muse.
Well, to be fair, the favorite was, I mean, she wasn't a psychopath, but she was certainly a power player, let's put it that way, in terms of manipulating the queen. But yes, the last movie they did together, she was I don't know, a brain taken out of an infant and put into a dead woman.
Yeah, that was Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor Things. And I don't think she should have won, but
then she was in Kinds of Kindness last year, which was a weirdo fucking movie. Though I did kind of like it, though it doesn't work at all. You know what I mean? It's just one of those like, oh, okay, they just wanted to shoot a movie for 3 months, and they have this incoherent thing with Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. But this is not new. The whole like director and actor like connection and liking to work together, and so to me that's pretty normal in terms of movie making.
Especially when they've been sleeping with each other for the past 10 years.
Wait a minute. That's rumor. That's rumor you're spreading.
Hey, on this show we're never wrong.
I've seen Easy A.
On this show we're never wrong. We're just early. So yeah, so this was an event for the latest movie that they're working on, where moviegoers can get a free screening to the film if they shave their heads in honor of Emma Stone, who shaved her head for this movie. Now, I'm going to tell you guys about what this film is actually about here, which is kind of what I'm thinking. I feel someone's taking the piss out of someone, and I don't know who's in on the joke here, but yeah, so all these people in Los Angeles, so possibly Dodgers fans, decided that, yeah, I know, we're going to shave our heads completely bald because we're paying homage to a character for a movie that we haven't even freaking seen yet. So this is like one of those this isn't like one of those like Rocky Horror Picture Show freak shows that people go to every now and then. And it's like this is for something completely different. But they were instructed to either arrive bald or be willing to get your head sheared off by this ghoul at this
by the woman from Star Trek, the motion picture.
It's like a deranged Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's like. Does this not look like someone? This does not look like hell. Like, does this not look like hell? I'm just saying, like, objectively, like, take away all the fire and the screaming. Like, this does not look like hell.
The Pirates guy is probably.
I hope that the movie has some kind of theme of exploitation or like doing, you know what I mean, has some kind of connection to this. Otherwise, it's just performative masochism. It's like, hey, sell your soul because you want to see this movie so bad.
Oh my god,
it's being cheap.
This person has crutches and she's standing outside of the. Oh my god, this is a freak show.
Well, she kind of has like reddish hair, so she dyes it, so it doesn't really matter.
It's just strange to me that it all looks like the opening scene from Full Metal Jacket. You know,
mm-hmm.
They're just sitting there and they're just like, you know, they know what's about to happen. They know what they're about to see.
It's like the first Police Academy.
Hello, Vietnam.
The guys shave their heads. And then the other guy's like, oh, no, just a little off the side. It's like, we're not the military. You don't have to shave your head.
Yeah.
The other cops were more
like, you know, I get it. This is like a franchise. They were doing some kind of gimmicks. Like, hey, we got the new A-Team movie. Come to the screening. We'll give you a Mr. T haircut or something like that. It's like, at least then I can understand it. But, like, this is not what this is, like, at all.
It's being cheap.
What the hell?
You just don't, you shave your head and you don't pay and you get to see the movie.
Hold on.
Free.
This is also either an ingenious marketing strategy by a producer or You know what I mean? It might be a creative way of getting people to like, oh, that movie. Hey, the bald movie. Hey, let's go see the bald movie. You know what I mean? I know that sounds stupid, but no advertising is working. We've seen the last 4 weeks where new releases absolutely bomb, and now you could say it's because they're not good, like The Smashing Machine, or I'm trying to even Rick. What was the movie that came out that bombed with Julia Roberts that I want to see? After the Hunt.
After the Hunt.
Yeah. So I mean, it's maybe that's just a marketing strategy to get attention, which it's kind of working, but who knows?
That's
People
why.
will see it.
I don't understand the angle
see
here.
it.
I don't understand the angle here. It's an homage to a character to a movie they haven't even seen yet. So how is it an homage
I keep
to...
telling you,
Oh,
Jacob,
right.
it's because they don't want to spend the money. So they figure we'll see the movie for free, and all we have to do is shave our heads. It'll grow back, hopefully.
No, you're looking at it from the perspective of the person getting the haircut. I'm talking about from the movie's perspective here. Like I'm trying to go like, what is?
It drums up publicity. It drums up publicity.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I shudder to even read the comments.
Do you think it's a humiliation ritual or like a attack? You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
It might be on the people doing it.
No, I don't think so. I think you guys are reading too much into this. It's just I keep thinking it's just a way for people to see a movie for free because people are generally dumb.
Yes.
Well, so here's So here's the kind of the context of the film itself here. We'll play a little bit of the trailer. The trailer is another one, and they love misusing this term here, satire. They love using this here. So this is actually based on a Korean movie from like 25 years ago that I guess played it up to more of a comedy aspect. But this one is like one of those films where trying to be like, oh, this is just like modern times, where the whole concept here is that she's a CEO to some business, doesn't really matter, and Jesse Plemons and some other guy are wacko conspiracy theorists who believe that she's an alien and that she's planning on world domination or world destruction or something, so they're trying to kidnap her to save humanity. And the whole point is that, oh, this is the dangers of reading online conspiracy theories and whatnot. Well, in the context of the Korean film this is based off of, it turns out that they actually were aliens towards the end. So the guys that were conspiracy theorists were actually vindicated because it turns out they were right. So I don't know what angle they're going to go with this.
The guys here are just going to be Trump supporters.
And that doesn't sound like Yorgos Lanthimos or anything he'd be interested in. I'm sure it's going to be an absurd, offbeat. Listen, I don't know, Rick, if you've seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer or if you did, Jacob. That movie is so fucking weird, and I can't explain it to you, but it really is a black comedy, even though terrible things happen to Colin Farrell and his family. And the tone is so almost like, it's like, okay, would have to be an absurd, almost like twisted individual.
You would have to be a subhuman or not human at all to find humor in this.
Right. Now,
I have to be a Dodgers fan.
What was it? Four Things I did think was funny, but that was a much different movie than Killing of a Sacred Deer or The Favorite. And I haven't seen the trailer for this, but it seems like another like disturbing, arty.
No, I think they're trying to go for some kind. No, I think they are with the trailer. I thought they were going for a comedy like feel to it, though it didn't quite land with me. And yeah, I always saw Poor Things. I thought her performance was just very mechanical. It was good, but very mechanical. No pun intended. So that's why I was not rooting for her to win. But I should root for Emma Stone because she is a Padres fan. So there's that.
Are Nephilim writing movies? Is this what happens? Is this the little like hint that we haven't figured out
He's
yet?
too short to be a Nephilim. What are you talking about?
I said writing movies, not starring in them.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Nephilim is Greek for something.
Mm-hmm. Is this the joke that we're not on? So here's the trailer for the film.
Good morning, Corey. Good morning, Michelle. I believe every company should strive to form a diverse table, to empower people of different skills and.
I honestly thought this was going to be about that one
skills and identities
person.
They want you to think it's you, that it's you who made this world. But it's always been them. All we've lost, all that's been done to us, we're setting that right again. Greetings. Welcome to the headquarters of the human resistance.
Where's my hair?
Your hair has been destroyed to prevent you from contacting your ship.
What ship?
Your mothership?
Okay. In the next 48 hours, the police and the FBI will begin a statewide manhunt. I'm a high-profile female corporate executive. I am crucial. In all humility, I can say that. Think of it like you abducted the governor, but worse. There is no possible scenario where you benefit from this incident.
That was really good. My pulse is racing right now. I've done a ton of research on this. You're killing our planet.
Alien fellas. I'm not an alien.
You're lying to me.
What's the difference? You know this is crazy. You know this is wrong.
I know who you are. I know what you are.
I know you too, Teddy.
It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, so that's the film people are shaving their heads for. Real quick, Josh, not even gonna lie to you, I don't know what currency that this is. It looks like a lot of money on paper, but it's probably like $2. I'm just going to assume that it's $2. Kind of saying, Josh said, 170 episode celebration in Super Chat, and after seeing the bald lesbians, I'm hesitating to hit the button. Yeah, no, we all have to experience this, so you have to experience it with us. Sorry
So is Cynthia Erivo going to pop up in this one?
No. I think that Yorgos Lanthimos tends to work with talented people, no matter how much you might think his vision is strange or weird.
Hey, the bug-eyed demon lady can sing, okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was talk, what was it, about bald lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what threw me off.
I thought this movie was going to be about that one lady that like ripped everybody off with the 23andMe.
Oh no, yeah, I know Elizabeth.
Oh, is that her? The HBO doc lady?
Yeah, that one. I thought this was going to be about that.
She's an absolute fucking creep. I hope they make a movie about her. I'd watch it.
They should induct her or abduct her.
Maybe they drew inspiration. I mean, because it felt like that in the trailer.
That's what I on camera. Her eyes was just like, okay, that's a psycho fucking
Elizabeth
bitch right
Holmes.
there.
Was that her name?
Yeah, I think so. Man, she's not bad looking, but holy shit, the eyes! It was just like, oh boy.
Isn't she already in prison?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't drop the.
So she's gonna. So she's essentially gonna cut her. They're gonna shave her bald, and they're gonna try to convince her she's an alien, and then she's gonna say they're Trump supporters, and that's gonna freak Jesse out.
No, they won't.
We don't know that. We can't put in all.
We don't know that for certain
until we actually see the movie. It's possible, but it's also possible that it's not.
Like I said, Rick, we are never wrong. We're just early.
No, none of his movies. Seriously though, none of his movies are like that. They're weird, fucking. They're weird, off the wall, absurd kind of things, but they're not really political or ideological. I didn't see them that way. Now, I'm sure a bunch of feminists are screaming at me right now that are watching this in my imagination.
They always scream at you, Rob.
Who are just like
the tomatoes.
It's all about feminism. And just shut up, please. Just watch the movie and enjoy it. Thank you. But yeah, who knows? We'll have to watch it. We'll see if it's any good. I hope it is. I know there's talented people involved, but again,
the answer to the
we don't
question
know these things.
You kind of turned me on to this guy now. I'm interested in actually watching some of his other work, and I'm interested in watching this. I hope Bologna is not
the
as
only
Bologna
one that
as
I've
it seems.
actually liked is The Favorite, only because I do have a fondness for costume dramas, and it was interesting. And Queen Anne has not been portrayed often on film, so we needed more about her. Less films about Queen Victoria and more films about Queen Anne.
And another one is that it reminded me also of like that story of Bajork, like that stalker Bajork used to have. and almost kidnapped her too.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Well, that would have been nice if we had made a movie about when she went crazy and attacked that, or was it Thai journalist? Who
when she just had like that.
Welcome to Bangkok, and she just starts smacking her all over.
Yeah. A 20-hour plane ride will do that to you.
Will she be wearing the swan outfit that she wore at the Oscars?
Look, Bjork is pretty useless to me, but she is the one who introduced me to Lars von Trier with Dancer in the Dark. Fantastic movie, but so sad. So sad.
Rob's all like, I hate Lost in Translation. Bjork is garbage.
No, Lost in Translation is a good movie. I hate Sofia Coppola though. She's a fucking hack. Like seriously, that was good because it was about her relationship, her failed relationship, by the way, with Spike Jonze, and he made her many years later about the same thing. But that's why it was good. She hasn't made a good movie outside of Lost in Translation.
Not even Marie Antoinette. How dare you, sir?
No.
You didn't applaud when she got killed in Godfather 3.
Oh, I fucking hated her in that movie. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. The movie really isn't that bad. It's not as bad as its reputation, but she makes it bad,
Yeah. Oof. Isn't she coming out with a new one? She's coming out with something with James L. Brooks.
Oh, please. Oh, no.
I think
that's the James L. Brooks movie that's coming out that's about a single woman and her family, and it's very New York,
It's like As Good as It Gets, but just like completely on Helen Hunt's side.
Yeah, I'm calling it New York. What I mean is Jewish, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Look, it's who cares?
Not Jewish.
I know that. I'm talking about the movie that I'm referencing. That James L. Brooks is attached to. I think so. I don't know what
was kind of not great in As Good as It Gets. Jack Nicholson was awesome, but her Brooklyn accent was like not quite believable.
Yeah, she didn't have one.
Well, she tried. And it's like
tried really hard.
It didn't work. How did she win the Oscar for that?
Because she was a single mom, and she was like, she had that sick kid. It's like how
it was brainwashing, honestly, on a certain level. Because for me, one of my mom's favorite movies is As Good as It Gets, so I've seen it countless times.
Yeah,
and I actually kind of agree with what Rick is saying here. It's like she's fine, she plays the role, but there's nothing that's really extraordinary about it. Jack Nicholson is hilarious, and he gives another great performance. I thought, honestly, Greg Kinnear, if anybody deserved another Oscar for that movie, deserved it. But again, she right year, right time. Who knows?
Was it even Cuba Gooding Jr. was pretty good on it.
This was the year of Trashtanic, so that's surprising.
Yeah, 97. Yep.
Winslet.
And also, what's her name? Bridget's Diary.
Oh, Renee
Zellweger. She was in Jerry Maguire, I think, that same year.
But she wasn't nominated.
It was the year before, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking of bald lesbians here, let's jump over to another quick topic here. Sydney Sweeney is back in the news again because she's playing a lesbian in the movie that. So here's kind of what happened here, because when this film came out in the critics circle or circuit, wherever it was, a couple of months ago, there was an argument that, oh my God, Sydney Sweeney might get an award nomination for her role in this film. Now, keep in mind, this movie hasn't come out yet, and most of us haven't seen it, so we don't know whether that's complete hyperbole or if there's actually something to that here. These are the same people saying that The Rock might deserve an Oscar based on his performance not too long ago either. And then, if you remember, the whole American Eagle thing happened, and that was when everyone was calling her a Nazi because of a Gene commercial. And keep in mind, I think that was before Charlie Kirk, so we probably should have known that these people were psychotic even before then, but that goes against the point. So she's in this movie, she's promoting it now, and people are now angry at Sydney Sweeney because she's in a movie about a lesbian, but she's not lesbian, and they want LGBTQ roles only played by LGBTQ people, and this whole clusterfuck. And now people are alluding to the possibility that they may be purposely sabotaging the press for the film in order to take away any kind of award recognition she may have previously received, for the sole purpose that they're still angry about the Gene ad. And this is kind of where we are here. So she's in this movie called Christy. Like I said, she thinks she gained like 30 pounds of muscle allegedly for this film. So it's one of those physical transformation movies and all that good stuff. about Christy Martin, who's a lesbian boxer who I guess intermingled with Don King at some point in her career.
Great boxer.
Yeah, and it says here that like I said, social media users are all going the way that they normally do because of previous controversies here. Because it's like, oh, she's a Republican. Oh, she had the gene ad. And oh, she does this. And oh, there's a photo from a few years ago of her in a MAGA hat on and all this nonsense. So the thing that I'm looking at it from this perspective is that, one, the boxer who she's portraying here is in full support of the movie, so it doesn't seem like that she has any issue with anything that's going on here. It's just the psychopaths who are probably Hassan Piker fans, if we're being honest with ourselves. They have something against her here. The question that I have there is twofold. One is that, like I said, Sydney went through all this trouble. It seems like she's trying to find some kind of role to get people to take her more seriously as an actress, because let's be honest, at this point in time, she's only really known for her boobs, and pretty much that's it. I've seen a handful of movies with her in the film. Mm-hmm. I don't get the perception that she's a great actress, that maybe she'll surprise me in this film, but I don't really think that she's been great in particularly anything. She's been decent in a couple of things, but I don't think she's been particularly great. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think that's fine. That's a fair assessment because she hasn't really done much. They are trying to push her as a star, and part of that is trying to give her opportunities for vehicles that play to her strengths. So, maybe we'll see her, not necessarily turn it around, but develop into something more than just basically a sex symbol.
You need to build up your stars. You can't just foist them. You had this with Josh Hartnett. You're seeing this with Glenn Powell. You're trying to make people stars with very little to prove that they are. But we'll see. My question is, why do we need a biopic about this person?
Because she's gay.
Well, and here's the thing. I just love boxing movies. Okay, I don't care. I don't care if it's a man, a woman, if it's a teenager, if it's a whatever, if it's Rocky, whatever. I just love boxing movies because it's it's a dead sport, frankly, and it's a brutal sport, and the amount of perseverance and hard work and all that stuff is like some of the best material that you get in sports movies. Not to mention the human element and there's just so many ways you can tell a story that's fascinating and that just resonates ultimately. But I saw the trailer for this. Some people said it looks stupid or whatever. I actually thought it was something I wanted to see. And Ben Foster looks unrecognizable as her manager. And you
got me there. I love Ben Foster.
I did not get, by the way, like that's a best supporting actor nominee to look out for, just because he's always sort of a dark horse if he's in something.
Yeah.
But
he was robbed in Hell or High Water. He was robbed.
Yeah. But I'll be open-minded about it. I'll go see it. But I would agree that Sydney Sweeney really hasn't shown that she has much of any acting chops. But Marilyn Monroe had this issue too. So we'll see what happens.
To be fair, Marilyn Monroe had quite a few issues going on.
I meant early in her career where she hadn't done anything, but she had still been passed around by half of Hollywood.
But she showed great abilities in Niagara and Don't Bother to Knock. So she did show early on that she had the ability to be a dramatic actress. We haven't seen that much from Sydney Sweeney, but again, like Rob, I'm open to the idea that maybe she will surprise us and she'll turn in a good performance. I don't know if I would see this movie because I don't know her and I don't know why she needs a biopic. Being a lesbian is not enough.
Yeah, watch
and not only that, but she's like a legitimate star in the boxing world, and she because at the time, the one person that was like the biggest hype ever was all the women were all daughters of former boxers, whether it was Joe Frazier's daughter, whether it was
Muhammad Ali's
daughter, George Foreman's daughter. Mm-hmm. So like Christy Martin got to stand out, and she had no lineage, so she was an underdog in the Rocky sense, getting it.
Female boxing is a niche thing anyway.
Right. And so for her to actually like get like support and everything else, and she traveled the world on it and everything. No, I mean, it's a really good story. Whether I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that she's a lesbian, but people, like Rob said, boxing stories sell, and this is a great one, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't actually get that from the trailer at all, that she was gay. But yeah, anyway, just who knows?
Bleed for this was not good.
What?
Bleed for this.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the social media reaction is just the social media reaction. There are always going to be idiots out there. The question is there a campaign to kind of sabotage any kind of chances of winning or being nominated for any awards this year? Because, like I said, it seemed like up until about a month ago, everyone was saying that this could win or at least be nominated for a few. I wouldn't say win, but at least could be nominated for a few awards. But since then, a few reviews have come out that have kind of like dropped it in a more negative sense, saying that it's not really that great. I think it's somewhere between like 65% on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment. And look, we all know the majority of film critics are left-wing. I would not put it past them to try to sabotage this movie. We'll just play this trailer here real quick for Christy.
You must be the lady I've been hearing so much about.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. King.
Now tell me about yourself. Jesse here says that you fight in all pink.
I'm from West Virginia.
What's that got to do with...
By the way, just quickly, sidebar, unrelated. The fact that this is a movie about a lesbian that likes to beat up other women, I mean, could we have not been more on the nose?
Oh. Also one of the greatest of all time doing it.
Thanks for the
That's
spoilers.
why she's so good.
No,
Exactly.
I didn't even think about that.
She excelled past the level of other lesbians.
With that dugga thing in the background.
Yeah, pink was my idea.
Yeah, that's Stevie Nicks.
Oh yeah.
Age of 17, baby.
I think I found my thing.
Great concert, by the way.
I bet most people go their entire lives and they don't even know what their thing is.
You the world champion right now. You think you what makes the world turn. But one day you're going to wake up and realize...
Oh, no, a black woman.
No, if you want to have an idea of like what's about this like thing, if you remember $1 Million Baby, she was actually fighting during that time. So like Clint Eastwood had like a bit of a, she was like a little bit of a,
influence.
What's her name? Yeah, influence on it. So.
All right.
I'm serious, she's legit. As legit a fighter as Tanya Harding.
To be fair, wasn't it Tanya Harding's like husband who clocked Nancy, or does it like technically count?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he hired the dude.
What are you doing sneaking around behind my back?
Sneaking around. Hey, Dad. I think I want to come home.
Want to lose your trainer, your career, all of it?
The one thing about Sydney Sweeney, though, that's always kind of like bothered me just a little bit, and this is not really as much of a slight, it's just that she still has like the baby fat cheeks. So when she's trying to portray a more serious, more mature role, it's like she still kind of has that baby face thing going on.
Still good looking.
Kind of, yeah, exactly, right? It's like...
I'm fine with it.
It's almost like, you're not quite hard-faced enough to... No, we'll see. We'll see.
It's fine.
Italian lesbians have a lot of that.
Honey, you are like family to me. I am worried about you. I've heard some stuff.
What stuff?
No, don't tell me they did it with Age of 17.
I need help, Mama. He's angry at me all the time. Oh, Christy. You sound crazy.
If you leave me, I'll kill you.
Do what you have to do. I spent half my life hiding. It's my house. My things. It's my dream.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you.
Well, she was working with Don King. We know she got screwed. So I mean, that's kind of a spoiler in and of itself.
Yeah.
Only in America.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm interested to see whether it's going to be this kind of soapy melodrama, or if it's more like
Redemption.
true to life, more of a standard biopic. But yeah, you could see the sort of like I hope it's like not half a boxing movie and half like the rest of her life, that because I don't know anything about her. This is the great thing about this. Well, biopics are generally terrible movies, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy them or they be entertaining or have good performances, or they just tend to be reductive because it's it has to fit this 2-hour runtime. It has to hit this 3-act, or excuse me, the arc and the 3-act structure. And
Yeah, you've got with biopics one of two things. You could do the whole life story, or you could show a certain segment of their life.
Like the new Bruce Springsteen movie, I've heard is just bad. It's real bad. From like the reactions to it. And I like Scott Cooper, the director. I've liked movies he's done in the past, but he's been kind of uneven also. So I'm not really surprised at that. And again, it's not a biopic necessarily. It's a portion of Bruce Springsteen's life that where he was writing Nebraska, I guess. But
yes, I think that's that covers just one part of his life. It's supposed to be the turning point. I just in that trailer, what I saw was Sydney Sweeney doing her best to show that she's more than a sex pot, that she's aiming to be a legitimate actress, downplay her looks. This has worked with other actresses when they decide to, tone down their beauty and show that they can be a legitimate dramatic actress. I don't know. I don't think that this will get her a nomination. I'd be thrilled if Ben Foster did, because I'm a big champion of him. I think that this might just be a way for her to get better roles or more dramatic roles and show, hey, I have range. I'm not just, I'm not just what's in front of me. I have so much more to offer than my good genes. That's good for her. I mean, she's looking out for her career. So I give her credit for that. But we'll know. We'll find out if she gets Oscar or award recognition, just like The Rock is going to win easily for his biopic. And what's that guy?
Funny? What? You know what's funny about this is like, okay, these are absolute like fucking trashy people, but at least how they're depicted in the movie. You know what I mean? And like, you know that I have empathy in my heart because I still want to see it. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, it really is about, okay, like, tell me a story, convince me, sell me. You know what I mean? Like, I want more than anything to come out of a movie and be like, this was great, this was, even if it's slightly hyperbolic, because there's so little to compliment or sing about or celebrate or champion these days. And it's just like, so if Sydney Sweeney gives me a half decent, you know what I mean, performance, like I gave the Naked Gun movie a 3.5 out of 5. Because I'm so hard up for anything that's remotely reminiscent of the movie.
I can't believe it. I mean, you had two of the greatest films ever made this year, and Marty Supreme is probably the third of your generation Citizen Kane. How could you be so dismissive, Robert?
Is that including Sinners?
Yes, Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Marty Supreme are all.
You probably can't see it. There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's actually the best movie I've seen so far. And there's been
by the way, you want to know in terms of movie characters this year, the person who inspired me the most in terms of like an inner mantra and stuff, to lose 35 pounds in 3.5 months was Sonny Hayes. Was the whole Rocky thing? Was the whole like, you know what? I'm going to put everything I can into this just to see what comes of it, just to see if I can. Just to try before I start aging and die alone and fat. So let me try to do something for myself before I just finally give up. Okay, sweet. So it's been great. And I know that sounds really probably kind of dark and depressing, but I'm
You
good.
got Mary. You got Mary. Oh,
But again, look, I don't know if this is gonna. I don't think this will get her a nomination because you've got to have a successful film, well praised, and I don't think all her.
Rick, you do understand who just won for Best Actress last year, right?
Her generation's Katharine Hepburn. Yes, I know.
So you're setting the standard based on how Hollywood used to work, like
Look,
decades ago.
I'm someone who thinks that Jessica Chastain is the worst Best Actress winner in history. So I know a little bit about it. I don't think she'll get a nomination. There's a whole lot of things, and they're not going to hold the ads, the genes, her alleged Republican connections against her. I just don't think that she's going to be taken seriously, but I think this movie is her effort, her first major step to be taken seriously as a dramatic actress, to try to be closer to what Emma Stone is seen as. Emma Stone is seen as a dramatic actress, even though she started out in lightweight comedy.
Super bad. Yeah, super bad. I think, I don't know. I think that Sydney Sweeney needs to do like a couple of these. You know what I mean? I think that maybe she'll get like an Independent Spirit Award nomination. That sounds more like what it's in line for, because like there's impressive performances from the last decade that didn't get an Oscar nomination. Ethan Hawke's performance in First Reformed was just absolutely incredible.
Ben Foster
didn't even Ben Foster. Listen, Ben Foster's a very good actor.
Hell and High Water.
He played a alcoholic, bank robbing.
Thought it was better than Jeff Bridges.
I mean, I think they both played their characters pretty well. I know what you mean about Jeff Bridges. He is a bit like kind of
too dude.
Well, he's like murmuring through his mustache, have like a Texas accent.
He's turning into Sam Elliott.
You killed my friend thing, and so yeah, it's fine. Like I get it. That's a great scene with him and Chris Pine at the end, because it's like they at least come to some understanding of each other and whatever. But yeah, that's a good movie. I mean, I own it on disc. And what I don't know who won that year instead of Ben Foster, but whatever. There's plenty of performance. Michael Keaton being robbed at the 2015 Oscars because they gave it to Eddie Redmayne for being, Stephen Hawking.
He was a trifecta. He was British, disabled, and a biopic. So yeah, and that is one of my worst Best Actor wins. By the way, I hated that movie so much.
Is that the one you look like a woman too? So there was also
no. That was the Danish
pearl earring.
No, that's
that was the year earlier.
Was it? That's the Danish girl.
That's Scarlett Johansson. Never mind. You're right.
Danish girl was a year later, and yeah, that was. I haven't seen it. I refuse to see it. But
Emilia Perez. Okay, with all those
that's terrible. Yeah,
and the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. That's the real fucking slap.
Yeah,
if that dude had just kept his mouth shut for a couple more months, that probably would have won a few more awards than people are willing to admit. So
no, I don't think so.
You have a lot more hope in the system than I do. But let's jump over here to this story about Snoop Dogg. Remember a couple months ago, he was all like, "What's all this gay shit in my Disney films, dog?" And then now he's doing gay
Lightyear
shit in his stuff.
He's the only other person that saw Lightyear. And realized there's gay shit in it.
Well, I was made to watch Lightyear by Jacob.
I saw it.
Yeah, so basically, the mafia took him to the woodshed and literally spanked his bottom in more ways than one and told him to get in line. So now he's adding gay shit onto his... I guess he does some kind of like animated show, or at least he's somewhat involved in some kind of animated children's show called Doggyland, which... Again, look, we can sit here and complain about the agenda all we want, but if you're letting your kids watch a cartoon produced by Snoop Dogg, it's your fault at that point. You're just asking for it. But
make yourself the Nut Shack.
Yeah, right. So Snoop Dogg has partnered with advocacy organization GLAAD, which is basically the LGBTQ lobby that has Hollywood by the balls. And by the way, spoiler alert, it's all controlled by lesbians. So there's kind of a trend there. But an annual campaign aimed at supporting pride-oriented youth in fighting bullying. As part of the initiative, Snoop recorded a new song for Doggyland entitled "Love Is Love," featuring. Let's just pause here for a second. Let's just pause this entire story here for a second. Snoop Dogg was almost charged with murder back in
murder was the rap that they gave me.
It almost would have been better he had just went to jail.
This dude used to have balls down to the ground.
Is this the same song that what was it? Macklemore did? Isn't that the same thing? Are we doing this? Is it the same song? They all start to blend together after a while.
It's the same mantra they put out there time and time. We're just loving each other, guys. Our love is no different than your love, except for our love, we need to take drugs in order to not die. But outside of that, we're just the same as you guys.
We need to bring back gang wars.
Yeah.
We need to bring back the red versus blue.
They didn't go anywhere. What are you talking about?
No, we need to bring it back to like national level because we need to. This is ridiculous. I can't accept the fact that Snoop Dogg, this dude literally
Snoop Dogg
run around with a fucking AK in his fucking side shack.
Snoop Dogg has literally lived too long. He should have been shot and killed 2 years ago. And now, as a result of this fracture in the Matrix, he's now a host for The Voice. Snoop Dogg is on The Voice on NBC now, unironically. This is
Kurt Cobain would have transitioned. That's all I'm going to say.
This is what happens when you spend too much time with Martha Stewart. You know,
Kurt Cobain saw his future. He was like, "Fuck this."
I'm sorry. I need to just real quick. So Diane Keaton died, last week.
Mm-hmm.
She was in this movie, Something's Got to Give, right? And it's a Nancy Meyers movie.
Love that movie.
If you know a Nancy Meyers movie, you know how basically all the kitchen is pristine and it has great cookware and it looks like a fucking Martha Stewart thing. Anyway, I was just listening to the Bret Easton Ellis podcast today where he was calling Nancy Meyers an auteurist, and I was like, no, Brett, Martha Stewart is not an aesthetic. I'm sorry, that does not count. And so I'm sorry. It's just like Martha Stewart. That's like the lack of having a personality. Okay, and so to bring it around.
Those are great TV movies, by the way, with Sybil Shepherd. Martha Inc. and Martha Behind Bars.
Wasn't Jack Nicholson Suge Knight in that movie?
Yes, basically. Yeah, he was a music producer. He had all these hot women in him. Right. I was like, okay, Jack, maybe like 10 years ago, but come on, man.
Meanwhile, Dr. Keanu Reeves is just trying to mac on Yankee time.
Yeah.
So back to Snoop.
Yeah, he's performing a song called
Sorry,
Love
that
Is Love. This is a struggle
conversation
session.
was much more manly than anything that Snoop Dogg has done this entire time.
This is a struggle session. This is a legitimate struggle session that's happening here right now. A member of the Pride community, he previously performed on Team Snoop during the NBC series The Voice. So he's basically a gayer version of Howard Stern now. That's what Snoop Dogg has turned into. The music video blates a voice of puppy named Zippy joining Snoop's character of Bow Wizzle. Oh, God, it's just bad. Singing upbeat lyrics about families of all types. The song includes same-sex couples and lines such as, "Our parents are very different. No two are the same." It says, "But the one thing that's for certain is that our love will..." Oh, God. I'm literally getting douche chills reading this. What are we doing here? It's a beautiful thing that kids can have parents of all walks and to be shown love. No, stop. Just stop with all this.
Are these the same people that wanted to ban Paw Patrol because it portrayed the police in a
No,
positive
they didn't
light?
want to. They did. There was no want. It was mission accomplished.
They tried. I still see Paw Patrol in dollar stores everywhere, dude. They're never going to stop Paw Patrol.
It said to be taught what love is, to be able to have parents from all walks of life, whether it's two fathers, two mothers, whatever it is. Love is the key, Snoop told Variety.
Snoop never said that.
At the end of the day, it's all about love, and that's what we're teaching kids with Love is Love. Partnering with Glad Spirit, they just felt right. Spreading love and respect for everyone is what real gangsters do. What the fuck am I reading?
Death Row Records. Can I just say, it's called Death Row Records.
Oh man, Tupac is in hell just looking at this right now, thinking to himself, "What the fuck happened? we went from gangsta party to this."
We had a trap house in the dog pound.
We're showing the next generation that kindness is cool, inclusion is power, and love always wins. Oh God! What happened?
I like to point out that Snoop Dogg is easily the worst concert I ever went to. He was an hour and a half late because he got too smoked up in the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the opening act had to do his act like 3 times in order to keep the crowd from like rioting.
Yeah.
So,
True story, by the way, just real quick. True story. I went to an Ice Cube concert at Del Mar. I think it was like 2018, 2019. Some idiot thought that he can just like break into the fairgrounds without a ticket and got himself shot by a cop. And they delayed the show for about a good like 90 minutes because they were trying to figure out, okay, if we send everyone home who only came here for Ice Cube, are these questionable black and Hispanics going to cause a riot scene here? And the answer was probably yes. So
this, just for the record, this didn't happen when I went to see Stevie Nicks. You know, there were no rioting. There was no rioting with Stevie. Just pointing that out.
Just lesbians everywhere. Lesbian boxers everywhere.
Stevie Nicks and Ice Cube have 2 entirely different fan bases, especially in Southern California. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah. So this is a video that also is floating out here on this whole situation. I think this is Snoop talking about this project.
Love is a record that.
Oh yeah. So just in case you were wondering if he actually did say this, here's the video evidence.
Love is Love is a record that my kids program Doggyland presented me. Where it's the song where it's teaching love is love, it's teaching parenthood, it's teaching the situations that kids and the world is going through right now in a beautiful way through song, dance, melody, and just trying to get more understanding, clarity on how we live and the way we live. And I felt like this music is a beautiful, bridge to bringing understanding. This is a program that we've been doing for years where we involve kids, and these are things that kids have questions about. So now hopefully we can help answer these questions.
Okay,
so he essentially was told by the people that, hey, we're going to allow queers to get together inside your show, but that just means you get to have more bitches over when you want to have, like, if there's like he gets like a 3-4 way with a bunch of other dogs.
Yeah.
And he's all like, yeah, see, this is a family with family and love is love. That's it was sold to him.
Here's what I'm thinking to myself.
He's very fond of dressage. Didn't he cover the dressage competition at the Olympics?
I don't know.
Here's what I'm asking myself.
I'm sorry.
What leverage do they have on Snoop?
Like a horse thing.
I do. The horse thing. Yeah, it's fine.
Yes.
There's got to be a video on like a hard drive somewhere, like some like a portable disc that will just ruin his entire reputation. And this is why he's doing this, because he's been caught up. He's too deep to get out now, and this is what's like.
Is he on the Epstein list?
Maybe there's some photos and videos there of some of the parties that went down. I mean, let's be honest. We all know he's been to a couple of Diddy parties before, so maybe there's something along those lines.
How could he go to a Diddy party? I thought this was still East Coast, West Coast thing.
No, that was, they smoothed that over after Biggie and Tupac got killed.
Oh, look at him. Does there look at any East Coast, West Coast on him?
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Questions and help them to live a happy life and understand that love is love.
Amen. I don't know if you knew this, but I was a nanny in New York.
No, typically.
Oh my God! Please. Oh my God! No! Why did it start like that?
In a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens.
First of all,
his boyfriend
the tone.
Those crushing scenes. Oh
the tone of what Snoop is saying right now seems like he's in a hostage situation. It's like he looks like he's in the ISIS video. Like someone behind the camera has like an AK-47 aimed at him, and he just has to say the lines, or else he gets shot.
He should be. I mean, doesn't he have his own AK-47, being all gangsta?
Snoop clearly has not been gangsta in quite some time.
Clearly, they woke him up just to get this interview done. He literally just rolled out of bed.
Snoop is not hanging with the Rolling 30 Crips anymore. I don't know if you guys know that. Those
He's hanging with Martha Stewart and the nanny.
And the nanny here.
The nanny. He's literally nanny.
The gay nanny.
No, you wasn't. You wasn't no nanny. You probably was letting the kids do whatever they want.
I sure did. I sure did. But I had like.
Does this look like someone who should be around?
Never trust a white guy with jerry curls.
Does this look like someone who should be around kids unattended? Like, be honest. Like,
he had style, he had flair, he was there. That's how he became the nanny. Okay.
Why is he taking selfies of him with a kid?
He's just taking selfies. The kid's just there. It looks like he's
love is love, guys. So hey, if the age differences just happen to be great, then love is love, right? Is that the message?
Sure did, but I had like 8 jobs, and
Were you Jamaican? Because I have 3 jobs.
Usually, people have 8 jobs when they're not, equipped to have 1. So,
or with the economy, with the economy right now, the tariffs, Trump, it's killing the economy.
He's trying to get this interview done. He had to go run Uber for a couple more hours.
Well, I had 8. And one of them was being a nanny, and it was to 2 dads. And I had, I grew up in Tennessee, so I had never really seen that before. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I'm
confused.
Do you think that this guy is gay? Do anyone get the feeling that he may be a little kumse kumsa?
Yes.
No. So he was nanny to two fathers. I'm confused. Wouldn't he be a nanny to the children?
York, and but they had one son named Malcolm, and I was his nanny for about 2 years.
Was in the middle.
Formed a really big bond, and I was like, I don't know what I can possibly do for these 2 dads, because they kept finding ways to support me. They were like, because I also was a personal trainer. They were like, well, we'll also.
Okay, so he was fucking the 2 dads. That's basically what he's
Yep.
saying.
That's what Snoop Dogg's getting out of this.
That's literally what he's saying here.
He's literally inching himself farther and farther away.
These 2 gay men who were just supporting me. I happen to be a personal trainer as well, and they just loved me. Something like, okay.
I saw that movie. Was it Our Son with Chris Evans and Billy Porter? It was like the gay version of Kramer versus Kramer, basically. Only it wasn't as good.
Wow.
Hey, remember when that one kid several years ago got monkeypox and had 2 gay dads, and then we just stopped talking about that story for a while?
This guy was the nanny.
Personal trainer with you, and then you can also help them with piano. They just wanted to support me being a struggling, artist in New York, and so
yeah, they just wanted to support you. They were just there for nothing more than moral support, like 2 gay dads would provide.
That's why he was the nanny.
He's a quote unquote artist.
Yeah, they out of the goodness of their hearts.
So I was like, what can I possibly do for them for Christmas? Because I can't really.
It was breaking near and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Well, here's something you can do for them during Christmas. Here's a list of things you could possibly do.
But I wrote them this long letter being like, you have made me realize that I can be a dad.
Okay, let's just all throw up together.
Yeah.
So that was a fucking pointless, like, hey, what you do matters, Snoop Dogg, because you're reaching. I don't know. I can't even fake it anymore. This is how apathetic I am to any new thing that comes out that's like, hey, this totally is organic and not tied to the larger ideological framework that we're trying to beat into your fucking head, you stupid fucking plebes. Eat the bugs. Eat the fucking bugs.
Okay, my question is Snoop Dogg going to take this motivational speech down to Compton or Crenshaw and just convince all the Bloods and Crips and everyone else there, hey, love is love. So go and find yourself
yes, Snoop. Take this to Dodger Stadium while you're at it.
Well, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence go to Dodger Stadium. So there's that. So let's not, I'm not going to rule out Dodger Stadium. I think it's an interesting thing that he comes out with this right after he mentions, like, yeah, my grandkids were asking me how the 2 women in this cartoon could be parents without a male there. How does that work? It's an interesting coincidence.
It's because it's Snoop. Snoop's there. He's the father. He's the father of all the kids in the town, is what I'm saying.
If Snoop had been smart, he would have just told them, go ask Aunt Martha Stewart to explain all of this. Okay? Don't ask Grandpa. Don't ask Grandpa Snoop. Ask Martha. She knows it all, and it's a good thing.
I mean, this is just my general thoughts on this whole situation.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
I think I have Friendship on my watch list.
Don't take it off. It is literally... Like, honestly, I don't even know where I'd put it, but it has to be somewhere like my top 2 worst movies that I've seen this year. It is
what movie?
Absolute dog shit. Friendship.
Friendship.
That guy is in.
Oh,
it's
Tim
with
Robbins.
him and yeah.
Paul Rudd.
It's dog dude.
I guess I should watch Anaconda instead with Paul Rudd and Jack Black. If you saw the trailers,
it's currently number 2 on my list. Number 1 is Honey Don't. So there's a preview for the end of the year. It's not been a great year for movies.
Yeah, I have Jurassic Park coming up to review, so it's gonna make my top 10 worst.
Yeah, so that's what Snoop Dogg has become. So
Oh, my answer to the question who'd play him in a biopic, Sydney Sweeney.
Okay. I do have the horror movie Bones, starring Snoop Dogg, to watch in my queue pretty soon. Bones. So fucking stupid.
How about Soul Plane?
Because he's a dog. I hate you so much. That's so fucking dumb. That's what horror movies should be, guys. Like, dumb fucking puns, like in metaphors that are like a child could understand. Yeah.
I just saw Shelby Oaks, so there's that.
Oh, please tell me it was terrible. Please tell me it was terrible.
I'll tell you this. I know Chris Suckman says that he doesn't write negative reviews on movies, so I don't have to review his movie then, if I follow that kind of pattern.
Okay.
My cousin and I did nod off. We both fell asleep at certain points.
Yeah.
It's like how Vanilla Ice's movie is called Cool as Ice.
I'd rather listen to Vanilla Ice at this point than whatever the hell we just sat through for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Let's end this show talking about Variety's defense of one battle after another. Now,
Variety still a thing?
Yeah, they're still around actually, and they still give opinions about stuff. The last time I think we read a full Variety article was that one lonely woman who went to a movie theater on a Friday night and had a bunch of gay people making out around her. To only make her feel like she was even more lonely than she actually
was. She
is.
Watching Wicked at this point, or what movie was?
What was the movie that she was sitting through? It was some schlop. It was some bullshit movie that came out last year. I will have to dig it back up, but
Sinners.
Yeah. Owen Gleiberman, who I think is how you pronounce his name, he did a column trying to defend One Battle After Another, saying it's not a left-wing movie. Yet in his attempt to tell everyone that it was not a left-wing movie, he went on to further hammer down the fact that it is in fact a left-wing movie. So here's the thing. The left realizes that people are now mocking them because they created a movie which is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And now, in avoidance of trying not to be mocked, they're trying to defend their stance about why the movie is timely and all this other nonsense. But they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. Essentially, was what this comes down to here. So I'm going to read this little article here from our good buddy Owen. He says that it's no big shock to see that commentators on the right, the far right, and the extreme alt-right, I think that covers the waterfront, from Ben Shapiro to Armin White, which is the most extreme voices on the right, Ben Shapiro and Armin White, right? We're starting off hot.
It
right?
covers the waterfront. That's a nice way to say you hate your workers.
I think both of them are like the king of the Nazi Party in America, right? Shapiro
Armin White is a movie critic who did write for National Review, I believe, and he's a gay man. So, like, the idea, you know what I mean? But you know what Owen Gleiberman is doing here, by the way. I bought his book, Movie Freak, his memoir. This is an embarrassing article. I'm just going to... And this is a guy who's been writing movie reviews for 30 years.
So you said a lot of embarrassing thing in those 30 years. This has to be one of the top 2 or 3.
Guys, the alt-right have pounced. Conservatives pounce meme, guys. Literally, conservatives pounce meme.
Christian Total loves that for expression when they pounce.
on the One Battle After Another, accusing it of being a quote-unquote left-wing movie made for left-wing elites sitting in their left-wing bubble. It literally is. And not only that, you wrote an article to only further cement the reality that it is. We'll get to it later on here. It's like, your attempt of trying to dispel this narrative, you actually made it way worse. The forces on the right, led by President Trump, will say that about almost anything. No, just specifically this movie. Like, very specifically this movie. Especially the way that you all are out there spurging out about ICE right now. There's a reason why they're labeling this label with you guys at the moment. They treated yesterday's No King protest with a massive surge of outraged citizens as if it was some kind of lunatic fringe of collected hippie terrorists.
Were they protesting the LA Kings? I'm just curious.
It was literally Hassan Piker and a bunch of trannies out there spurging out over Trump. So again, you're not really dispelling the fact.
Don't forget the AARP holding people's memberships hostage.
Yeah, right. But I mean, yeah, Leslie, you're right. But at the same time, so was Charlie Kirk, and they killed him. So I mean, it really doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day. It then says it was a tad more surprising to see the same criticism of One Battle after another made by Bret Easton Ellis. So is he a Nazi now too? Is he on the bad people's side now?
Owen Gleiberman was on his podcast. I don't know, 2018, 2019. So it's kind of funny.
There it says, who thinks that reviewers have hailed the Paul Thomas Anderson film and overpraised it because it aligns with this kind of left sensibility. Ellis later added on his podcast, you have to be on the left and entertainment press propping up this movie to such an absurd degree that it felt unnatural. I consider myself a fan of Ellis. I was a guest on his podcast once.
I pat myself on the dick for that one.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And relish the independence of his voice and the fact that this isn't a wild about One Battle After Another is fine with me. I'm all for debate. Sure you are, buddy. But I think that tagging the film with the leftist label feeds into the very same cliche mindset that Ellis thinks that he's fighting. That's literally projecting. We're not even 2 paragraphs into this diatribe here. You're literally projecting your reality onto him. So well, it's again, like
he's accusing him of what he just did.
What he just did!
The far right and the alt right, which is not even a term anybody uses anymore because it was ridiculous when they were. So, yeah.
You started off this article using this is what is so mind blowing with the left right now. Besides the fact that they're celebrating the death of a man who got murdered a month ago, put that aside for a second. They're literally just recycling 2017. All of the 2017 talking points were the same thing about, Trump is a dictator and we need to go out and protest Trump, and he's attacking the media, free speech, late night.
And he's tearing the White House down.
This is literally like a reboot of 2017, and they don't even realize it. It's like we've seen this movie already. This is what's so frustrating about this whole situation. But I digress. It says that what's more, if you believe, as I do, that the part of power of the One Battle After Another is not it is not.
Yeah. In fact,
that's a very confusing line. It's like,
it is not. In fact,
that it is not. Okay, that is not. In fact, the left-wing movie, it's important to recognize how that misperception has been fed by a lot of people on the left. So you're blaming the people on the left for that.
Now the left believes that we're all terrorists.
Yes. So it's the left people's fault for making other people believe that this is a left-wing movie. So essentially you're blaming them for saying what the right was saying accurately. And so you're twisting yourself into a pretzel here, sir. There's a lot of mental gymnastics here with this article. The movie, which is set in an authoritarian America that resembles the one we could be heading towards. So
see, there,
underground people talking about Christmas.
Look at this. I mean, this is the same thing they're saying, like, it's not America now, but that's how it could be, or it will be if we continue down this road.
Yes, because it's a fucking movie. It's a movie. It's a hypothetical. It's an idea. It's a fart. It's a fucking dream, you asshole. It's like the idea that this has anything to do with what's going on in real life is irresponsible, dishonest, and disingenuous. And if you can't be honest about that, you shouldn't be fucking writing movie reviews, because it's just like, okay, so it's just your editorial time. This is, by the way, Matt, I had a shit fit with Matt Zollner's sites years ago because he was doing this shit with Trump's first administration. It's like, I don't want to hear about your political opinions. And he literally had the gall to say, I'm a journalist. And I was like, do movie critics really think of themselves as journalists?
Yes.
That's fucking hilarious. Sorry.
Some do.
You're basically asking if delusional people are delusional.
This is Civil War. Again, we had this conversation with Civil War where they wanted to portray the president as Trump, and we're in chaos and all of this. And now we're doing it again with this movie.
Yeah, so I just want to point this out, Owen. The same argument you just used right there is the exact same argument that the people you're writing this article about, that you're claiming that somehow they're wrong, are using, right? Because literally their whole thing about this film is like, oh no, this is just what America is like today. And then you start up saying, oh, this is what America could be like in the future. It's like, we're saying the same thing.
We're heading towards it.
This is like, you have delusional people on the left that actually think that somehow they're different from the other delusional psychopaths on the left. You're all on the same side. The only difference between you and everyone else is that your head is so shoved so far up your ass, you actually think that somehow you have a different mindset than the other psychopaths on the left, when you're exactly the same. So let's continue here. Especially, it anticipates what country might start to look like if Trump invokes the Insurrection Act.
Oh no!
It's censored for a while.
That Trump was leading the insurrection, storming the Capitol himself.
G6.
Yeah. On the ragtag band of revolutionary guerrillas, and since the movie is certainly on their side, a lot of the attitude of the entertainment media has been reflexively to treat one film after another as if it was itself raising its fist for a raising a revolutionary fist, and as there was something left-wing about attacking authoritarianism, and there is not. Okay, here's the thing.
Wait a minute, you can make a right-wing movie that attacks authoritarianism?
Mm-hmm.
But that would be the authoritarianism of the left.
So this is what, like I said, this is where you're trying to play dumb here, because essentially what you're saying is that, oh, this isn't a left-wing movie, we're just attacking authoritarianism, and it just so happens that it looks like the Trump administration. That's exactly what you're doing. That's precisely what you're. So
here's the problem with this: is that sure, they're like, these people do kill activists. They are acting in a fascist and authoritarian manner, but then you caricaturize them to such a ridiculous degree that, like, the lampooning doesn't. You're losing the impact of the drama of these people being killed, or Chase Infinity being kidnapped, and all this stuff. It's undercut by all this ridiculous caricature and characterization of these of these figures. And it's like, look at Sean Penn's character. He's made into a joke. He's a joke the whole movie. And so there's the criticism that's supposed to apply as they're attacking authoritarian. It's like, no, they're idiots who don't know what they're doing, who, maybe in the spirit of what the movie is trying to showcase, that they're fighting back, but they're idiots. They're terrorists. What the fuck are you talking about? And by the way, I would push back on the whole thing of the movie's on their side. I don't think the movie's on anybody's side, but I had a more nuanced view of the movie where, it's like, look, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's endorsing the domestic terrorists. I certainly don't think it's endorsing a fascist government. It's looking at the extreme sides of these things and saying, hey, what a fucking joke we are, that we still haven't been able to figure it out and come together and move past these ridiculous examples of right-wing fascism and left-wing domestic terrorism.
But this is the problem. Even if that view is true and you're looking at an absurdist view of the world, leftists live in the absurdist view of the world. So to them, it mirrors the viewpoint that they share. Like I said, they think that they're in some kind of authoritarian fascist regime, but somehow in reality, it's only people on the right who are dodging bullets. and we're actually getting shot and killed. Keep in mind, Trump's a dictator. He's a dictator. You almost killed Trump too. So he's a dictator who almost got murdered a year and a half ago, and now his supporters are getting murdered on the street, and you guys are the ones celebrating all this, yet somehow you're the victims here in this story. This is a delusional worldview created for people who hold a delusional worldview. But now we're going here, like I said, this whole playing dumb. It's like, oh no, we're just attacking authoritarianism. What's left wing about that? As if we don't know that you have ulterior motives with this whole situation. This isn't merely a matter of semantics, but in a strange way, lionization of one battle after another is a cinematic manifesto, a movie that sees itself as part of the resistance. Oh yeah, because we definitely haven't heard about the resistance over the last 10 years, right? That hasn't, like I said, this is literally 2017 all over again. We're just replaying 2017 as if we haven't already gone through this the first time around. It said, and it tips his hat to the glory of being radical, has fed directly into a skewed right-wing view of the film. Okay, buddy. At times, it's almost as if the right and the left agree on the film as a romantic salute to a revolution. They just don't agree where it's coming down on. No, you guys don't agree with it because you don't ever want to take accountability for any of your actions.
I don't see this movie as a romantic salute to revolution. I see it as two groups of imbeciles going after each other. I don't understand what it means a romantic.
But they're essentially viewing themselves on one side of the imbeciles. Like I said, they don't view themselves as imbeciles. They view themselves as the revolutionaries.
They're always on the right side of history, Jacob. You know.
Yeah, always. It says, see, the word revolution is more loaded than people think, so it's left-wing. They may just be words, but they have helped create the lens of which one battle after another is being viewed. As someone who loved the film, shocker, and found it to be a potent statement, shocker, does not consider it to be a left-wing vision, I thought I would try to clarify why one battle after another should escape that label regardless of which side is doing the labeling, even if it's our own. So now he's going to try to explain to us what this film actually is about, because, you know, the elephant in the room is too on the nose for him. But the film borrows iconography. I'm butchering these words here tonight.
Iconography.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just butchering these words here tonight. Of the late 60s and early 70s revolutionaries, and then in that world, the movies world, it could not be more different. In the opening section of the film, which is the one that they're raving about the most, the underground rebels known as the French 75 are characterized in a way that nods to counterculture radicals of 55 years ago. Wasn't that like a whole thing about like McCarthy, about that, and McCarthyism, and you
they were called the Weather Underground, I believe.
Yeah, right.
The Symbionese Liberation Army, but I don't think
you had a lot of Black Power groups too, just running around. So you know, who knows.
Yeah, there was a lot of villains.
There's Patty Hearst, who would join anybody who just said yes.
Was that 55 years ago already? Wow.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Damn it, stop doing that. Stupid browser. Okay, so it says that here, that this is how they occurred 55 years ago. One of the film's most indelectable images was it Beverly Hills, the black woman played by Tiana Taylor, in her khakis and boots and an open plaid shirt and wool cap, firing a machine gun.
He was licking his lips at this fucking scene.
Yeah, just like Sean Penn's character was. Firing the machine gun balanced on her pregnant baby, an image that looks like a Black Panther Symbionese Liberation Army fever dream. It says that the French 75 launched their insurrectionary acts, bombing, bank robbing. So it's okay when you guys do it. But not when the January 6 people do it. Bombings, bank robberies, breaking into the immigration detention centers to free the prisoners, except for you guys just go and shoot people who are at the detention centers and kill them because you can't tell the difference.
They're called illegals.
Yeah, because you guys can't tell the difference between illegals and ICE. You just shoot the illegals. It's smart thinking there. The overthrow of the system, bravura that nods at an earlier time.
Bravura.
I'm just making
It's an idiot. It's a stupid German word. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making him mad at this point. It says that. But here's the difference. The Black Panthers fought for civil rights, but by the late 60s and early 70s, many of the radicals of the counterculture had its slated goal of overthrowing, America. Yeah, it's almost as if that was the end game at the very beginning. I hate this whole concept. It's like, it started out good, but then, it kind of got a little crazy towards the end. Like, no, that was always the end game. Where they started off good was how they got you to accept the movement in the first place, and then that led to eventually the end game, what we're seeing now. It's almost like the narrative.
If only they had just stuck to bombings and bank robberies, everybody would have just had a great time.
Yeah, exactly.
My sense is that he liked Judas and the Black Messiah.
Probably.
He was licking his lips on that one too.
Yeah, right. There's a lot to lick their lips about in that whole thing. It says, and at this time, it was regarded by an overwhelming majority of Americans, including liberals, as an extreme and even crackpot idea. It was basically like you were saying earlier. It was fine when you guys were doing bank robberies and blowing up, government buildings, but when it eventually evolved into let's overthrow the entire country, then you guys went, okay, slow down. We're getting a little out of hand here. That's essentially what you're saying. So it says by the time of the rise of the
bring up the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, by the time of the rise of the Weather Underground, whose great achievement was accidentally blowing up a Greenwich Village townhouse, killing 3 of their own members accidentally. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a total.
It was great. Wait, that was their greatest achievement. It wasn't the bombing of a police station in San Francisco that killed 3 officers and injured 19 people.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That hurts the narrative of the left, so we're just going to ignore the whole thing.
Sorry, Gottlieb.
And now it's just a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Many of the radicals that era were stating to look, not to look as extreme, but look, guys,
scurrilous.
No, that's not even the point I'm going to make here. It's like, guys, you are the radicals. You're trying to separate yourself from the radicals here, but you are the radicals. It's like you were with the radicals in stage 1, but somehow when we got to like stage 3, you kind of wanted to distance yourself as if you weren't there for the first 2 steps. Like that's the whole point of this whole argument that you're making here. Like you are the radicals. Like they're trying to distance yourself away from the crazy people when you're on that team.
Well, he's not a radical because he doesn't. He's not shooting off with an AK-47 while pregnant. So there's that.
Oh, there's a shocker. He actually did support Judas and the Black Messiah.
It's absorbing.
It's almost just predictable at this point. So why does one battle after another pay homage to them? It says that because they were possessed by a militant impulse that struck a chord in the popular imagination, yet 2 situations could hardly be more different. At the end of the 60s, America was not an authoritarian regime. Well, that was because, JFK
was not.
Actually, thank God for Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised because in 1968, Nixon won.
Right.
Nixon came back.
Yeah.
Nixon now.
Nixon turned the tide with this guy. I think they think John Kennedy lived like another 8 years past when he got shot.
Mm-hmm. So here's the disingenuous argument. What this film, by contrast, takes place in a police state where cops and the military have joined forces to patrol an autocratic society with basic rights stripped away. That is what the French 75 are rebelling against. Does that make them the good guys? Because you guys framed the caricature of your political enemies, does that make them the heroes? And then he asks a disingenuous question, does that make them left-wing? No. It makes them freedom fighters who are trying to crack a fascist nation back open.
Another name for freedom fighters is terrorists, you fucking disingenuous pig.
If firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight?
He's saying the same thing. I mean, he's saying that. I mean, they're saying
he's trying to find a way. Like I said, this is all mental gymnastics. He's trying to find a way to support the terrorists while dancing around the terrorist label. That's all he's trying to do here.
But that's because they're nice guys, and the one woman was pregnant, but she was really hot when she was shooting things. And Leonardo DiCaprio is a cool stoner who kind of likes his kid.
But that's the whole thing, is that like they couldn't resist the bait. They couldn't and I say collectively, the critics in general, who gave this a positive review and looked at it like it was celebrating these leftists, these domestic terrorists, these
Freedom fighters,
whatever you call them, freedom fighters, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But it's almost like it's a heroic portrayal of defiance and all these things, and it's like it's a farce. It's a satire. It's how fucked up we are. It's where we have not ended up. That's the honest, like, and I argue with Sasha Stone about this back and forth weeks ago, where she's just fully committed. It's this leftist celebration of terrorists and overthrowing the supposed fascists, and I'm like, look, I think that if an intelligent person watches that movie and is not politic, and I know it's like it's impossible to go into a movie completely unbiased, but if you try to leave your political ideology at the door and just try to understand what a movie is saying, what it's communicating, to me, there's just too much silly shit that undercuts any drama that's there. And so there is drama there. There is framing of Chase Infinity being heroic or overcoming her kidnapper or escaping or deciding that she's going to follow in her mother's footsteps.
Yeah.
It's like it from a certain perspective, it could be like, oh yeah, of course she's going to do the dumb shit fucking idiot thing because kids don't know any better. And her environment is what she grew up in. And all she sees her mother as is a hero, even though her mother fucking abandoned her. There's all this stuff that doesn't get talked about that's there on the screen, that's there in the movie. And it's like everybody ignores it for what they want to. I'm talking about Owen here, but he wants to see it as this celebration of defiance and overcoming authority. It's horseshit. What are you talking about? It's not Schindler's List. We're not in Nazi Germany. Okay, we're not even in a future America that is somewhat like Nazi Germany. No, we have a fascist government that's eliminating its enemies. Yeah, that's wrong. It's against the Constitution. But the representation of the supposed heroes are so dumb, like they're idiotic, they're disorganized, they're not heroic in the slightest. And so I agree with what Jacob's saying about, people on the left see this as like Owen, see this as like a confirmation of their fastly held beliefs. You're telling people way too much. You're telling people way too much about a movie that you misperceived. He says that the right is misperceiving it. No, him and a lot of the critics who supposedly support this shit on the left revealed way too much in their reviews. Like, oh, you let the cat out of the bag. This isn't what you thought it was. And because you thought it was something else, now we know more about you. That's not good. You just gave your audience a reason to not read you anymore.
He said, give people enough rope, they'll hang themselves. And these people like to snitch on themselves all the time. The only Christian perspective I have on this movie is that clearly the villains in this movie are supposed to be like white nationalists, a secret club of white Christians behind the scenes who want white nationalism, and they're against racism. Basically, it's just the right. That's just how they view it here. But even in this one, here it says the film is loosely based on the novel Vineland, which is set in the Reagan 80s. So it's like, here we go again. Who was in charge in the 80s? Reagan. So Reagan was the Nazi then came H. Bush, then came W. Bush, and now it's Trump. Like every time there's a Republican,
they're all Hitler. They're all
Hitlers. They're all of them. Every single one of them. They're just
meanwhile, with Bill Clinton, that deported more people than any of those presidents combined.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the film was reconfigured the book into a dystopian projection of what a Trump regime might look like. So again,
look at this.
All of this is just back to Trump.
Where does he get this idea of what it might look like? Because look, and then says someone who did.
How long have we had Trump now? Do you think that we would have had this worldview that they think by now? Like I said, Trump was president elected 2017. Like, do you think that all the Nazi stuff would have happened by now? If it is,
well, he did. He did think that Nazis were fine people. Remember?
Yeah, right. Then we're still going with that whole thing. It's 2017 all over again, people. It says, but a host of progressive critics and writers obsessed with the idea that the movie is about what's going on right now. Men have stated in the heart of action is set quite specifically in present day. That would mean that the opening 45 minutes, which is set 16 years before that, when the French 75 are going on here, will take place in 2008. But the vision of oppression of the movie conjures up has nothing to do with 2008 because that was Obama. We can't blame Obama for anything that's going on here. So because the timeline is inconvenient for you guys, we have to pretend like it's not about that.
How
Even
about
though-
it's just a movie and it's not real?
He's literally saying here that, well, no, guys, we can't take this literally because in 2008 we were in charge. So because we can't blame a Democrat president for the way that we're in right now.
You can't blame Occupy Wall Street for anything.
I think they're drawing too much into this. They're saying that, oh, if we go by the timeline in this movie, it's 2008. It might be 2008, but in a fictional universe. Why do they insist on making exact parallels where there are none? That's what I do not understand.
But it's like everything is about making the connection to modern times and like all this old nonsense. And then it's like, so here it says cut the six. No, I mean, this was basically just him talking about Maya Rudolph and Leonardo DiCaprio, like the characters like in the film and whatnot. But this is what I was trying to get to here. The cut to 16 years later, the revolution, I should say, is in tatters. Bob's a stoner sitting around in the bathroom. Yeah, that's how most losers.
That's the only time I identify with this movie.
Exactly. He's still, in his way, a devoted father. Is he, though? Because wasn't that like a part of time where he wasn't with the kid? Like, wasn't that the whole part of the story? Or did we gloss over that part as well?
She didn't even call him
He
dad.
does the best he can, but he was like, I mean, he was making jokes about like like whatever your friend is, like a he/she. Like he was making those references. See, this is why like I can't hate on this movie because there's legitimately funny shit like that in there. But yeah, he's not a good father. He does the best he can, but he's a fucking stoner, like idiot who's a doofus. So of course he's not a very good father.
A man after my own heart.
Yeah. It says, what's more, this is what he says. The film's funniest joke has been widely misrepresented by media progressives when Bob calls the French 75 headquarters and keeps failing to remember the proper espionage code of what time is it, right? Now, was that the funniest bit of the entire movie, according to you guys? Because apparently they thought it was.
It was pretty funny. It's just like, it's hard to remember specific stuff because it's like, funny dialogue is just like, it's here and there. Yeah,
she came right to Rob's head. Okay,
I thought it was more making fun of how people would ask all of this information over the phone, and you have to keep going over and over and over and keep shouting to get through to a person. So it's more like making fun of those calls that you have when you have to call a company in customer service is never helpful. That's what I took it as.
I never understood why they're using payphones. I thought those were gone by 2025 or 2008.
Because it's an alternate movie.
Oh.
I mean, it's a movie in an alternate universe. Yeah. Or because something will happen if the plot requires it to.
Now, he says here that the bureaucratic fussiness of the operator in that scene is meant to be a satire on the doctrinaire left-wing rigidity.
I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I saw more as just someone who was following instructions and was, not going to compromise. But a lot of telephone companies, when you call customer service, they are like that. They need you to give them the exact information, and you can't make. I didn't take it serious, but that's the thing. I didn't take this movie as seriously as some of the people here.
Whoever wrote this article, overdone their subscription to ChatGPT on the fucking research.
Well, no. I don't even think it's that with him. It's just he's a nerd about. You guys don't understand the context of the '60s and '70s. Yes, we do. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, but
we're realizing that you guys were the bad guys. That's what we understand now. That's what we understand. Like, you guys were actually the villains the whole time.
I've seen Wonder Years. I know what happened in the 60s.
So keep in mind, he's gone through this entire diatribe to try to defend the fact that this is not a left-wing movie and that people who are calling this a left-wing movie are misrepresenting it. Here's how he ends this whole thing. He says that, what is this film about? Authoritarianism, stupid. If you scan the media coverage, you might think that one battle after another was a story about a revolution. It is, sort of, but not really. For 45 minutes or so, it looks like that, but the guerrilla rebellion fails, and while Bob is helped out by Sergio Carlos, who's played by Benicio del Toro, the leader of the Underground Railroad for Immigrants, the revolution comes to a father rescuing his daughter. That's emotionally powerful and a portrayal of resistance is less potent as the film's portrayal of authoritarianism is of itself. And it says, here you go, and how directly that connects with what's happening in America today. The real revolution going on in this country is the Christian nationalist revolution, an attempt to upend the American dream and then replace it with a theocracy. And so the real threat, guys, the real problem in the country is Christian nationalism. That it's not left-wing revolutionaries; it's Christian nationalists that are the problem, guys.
No, he really in his heart of heart believes that the Christmas Adventurers Club is going to take over. This is his point. And by the way, I just want to point out, when I used the Underground Railroad thing, that was not meant seriously.
So
this person
listen to what he
actually
says here.
saying that this is not an underground railroad. There's a sharp difference between the actual Underground Railroad and what this is. This is essentially human smuggling.
So listen to what he says here. Like I said, this last paragraph here dispels everything he's been trying to. Like I said, there's mental gymnastics going on in circles here. Like you said, the Christmas Adventurers Club, which is basically white male Christians trying to make America white. That's what they all think, right? Here's what he says. The film dares to unveil that a portrait of the Christmas Adventurers Club is a chilling vision of hate. That's all the message the movie needs.
Really?
That this is happening, that the right-wing revolution is on, that there are people in America who still want to stop it. To suggest that all of this is left wing, even if that's your side that you're on, is to play the right into propaganda. Is to win a battle of self-righteousness and lose the war. So basically, he ends his whole thing saying that, guys, the real enemy here is white Christian nationalism.
Fight the real enemy.
Fight the real. We need to fight the Charlie Kirks. Oh yeah, we already did that.
Again, I don't know how he could compare what Sensei Sergio was doing to the actual Underground Railroad. That is nowhere near the same. I'm just appalled, and it's an insult to the hundreds, thousands of people who actually went and escaped slavery. To compare it, this is such nonsense. And look, I think the Christmas Adventurers Club, they were made to look foolish, and they were foolish. I don't see how anyone could take them seriously. So I'm just astonished that this man thinks that this is serious. It's not. It's. Oh.
I think the right wingers should actually adopt this movie. Mm-hmm. Because that's the thing about the left is that all they do is just adopt everything that's pop culture or anything else. So I think the right should just start adopting things, and this would be a perfect thing. This could literally be the right's version of Dr. Strangelove. Look at these stupid leftists and look how dumb we fucking treat them. And look how they think of us.
It's all filtered, though. It's all filtered through this lens, and I can't imagine being like that. Like Starship Troopers is just a classic golden example of this, where they cannot accept that while, yes, the movie is a satire of like military propaganda and all this stuff, it's like you still want the heroes to win. You still want them to defeat the ugly, disgusting bugs, because like that's what the vehicle is engineered to do. And so even though it's satirizing what it's celebrating, that yes, it's okay to let go. These people have this weird no, you got to root for the bugs. I'm like, but that's not what the movie is. Mm-hmm. That's not what the movie is. The heroes face a challenge, they overcome the challenge, and they go home because they've won the day. That's the whole point. That's the whole movie. And yes, it's funny and it's making these tongue-in-cheek observations, and yeah, that's great. And Paul Verhoeven, if he really wanted to make some anti-Nazi allegory, he failed. He made a super badass, fun movie that nobody thinks of as like a challenging, criticism of imperialism and authoritarianism. Like that doesn't land.
He also made Showgirls, so.
Okay, but he also made RoboCop and Total Recall. He also made the movie Elle, which was one of the best films of 2016. Isabelle Huppert, if I can say her fucking name right, should have won the Oscar for that. See that movie if you have not, because it's incredible.
It sounds familiar.
It's like a Hitchcock. It's like a Hitchcockian thing that. Okay, I really don't want to ruin what the.
Oh, okay. I'll look for it, and I presume it's spelled ELLE.
Yes, it's a French movie, so heads up.
Ooh.
Yeah, but so this whole
It's not
thing
an underground railroad because they weren't helping people escape. Escape from slavery to freedom. They were bringing in people who were not coming. I mean, people who were coming.
Look, guys, they're just terrorists. They're just terrorists who the left are trying to defend because they basically are rooting for the same thing that the terrorists in the movie are rooting for, right? But they need to pretend like somehow you're the enemy here and they're the good guys. All it is just inversion and subversion. That's all it is.
This is why this is so funny, though, is that he used those words, the Underground Railroad, as if that wouldn't, as if saying that or in the inclusion of that wouldn't be a massive satirical joke about the fact that, again, you're using the same framework to make yourself feel important that real heroes, that people who risked actual shit put themselves on the line for in this country to be seen as heroes, to be seen as doing something brave. You're using their own accomplishments to lift up your own self-importance. Like, if you know what I mean? It's just like, again, him saying that reveals way too much, where it's just like, you can basically formulate what a fucking piece of shit he is, because he had that thought and was like, oh, this is completely fine and justified to say.
This is self-important enough.
Yeah, right. But
it's sad.
It's probably me. I need a new chair. I need a new a lot of things, and I have the money to afford it. I just haven't done it out of sheer laziness, but I probably should just upgrade this whole thing at this point. But yeah. But no, like, the first comment on that nailed it perfectly. This is gaslighting. This whole article is like gaslighting and deflecting. That's all that it is. And like I said, you can blame your own fellow progressives because they're the ones that basically snitched on themselves and revealed to the entire world exactly who they are, what they follow, and you're trying to do damage control on their behalf. That's the only reason why this article exists, is that you're trying to play defense for them, and no one's buying it.
I think we're seeing something similar to Sinners. As I pointed out, it's losing steam for Best Picture consideration. So what are they saying? Oh, they want to reject it because it's black. I'm going, no. I mean, Moonlight won Best Picture. Black Panther was nominated and held up as this great film. It's not that. It's just not good. It's just not a good movie. I like the music, but it's not good. So now we're doing this.
One, let's be honest, the only reason why people are pretending like Sinners is a great movie is because the left is scared to criticize black people. That's all that it is.
Okay, but like, we can't even have a conversation about how whatever Haley Steinfeld talks about her pussy in like the fucking first. It's like what is that? And then the obsession with like the guy and the girl in the juke house like getting down, and it's just like, what is this here for? Who are these characters? Why do I care? I mean, Michael B. Jordan supposedly giving great performances. Again, he moves his mouth a lot and tips his hat and changes it. It's like anybody can do those things, dude. Like, you're not, ooh, you got a toothpick in your fucking mouth? Awesome. That's not acting. I'm sorry.
Weren't you terrified by that Irish vampire? He was terrifying. He was terrifying.
I
was laughing. I was laughing at that when you do the jig.
But Jack O'Connell is actually an excellent actor, given the right material. That movie that prison movie Starred Up with Ben Mendelsohn in 2013. Oh my God, that's a phenomenal film. And granted, I can't name much else, but he's a really talented actor who can do a lot of different things. And he was probably the only thing worth talking about in terms of a performance in that movie. But whatever, it's look.
No,
if you like it because it's a black vampire movie, like it because it's a black vampire movie. Just don't tell me it's one of the best movies of all time, one of the best movies of the year. It's not. It's a very simple thing, and it's kind of annoying about its, if you want to call it that, black identity, where it's like, oh, look at our story and we're so important and you stole our magic from us. And it's like, can you victimize yourself anymore, especially in a fucking
vampire movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad that in a couple of years Sinners is going to be taught in history books as real history.
Yeah.
Like they actually
there's
did,
a lot of things.
we actually did steal their magic, like when we burned down Oklahoma.
The world needs to end soon because there's a lot of things that people are going to... Like, if we go on another 20, 30 years, we're going to have history books on George Floyd. And then we're going to try to pretend like George Floyd is the equivalent of like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Like, we need to end this.
Here's the thing.
To wrap this up.
If the Native Americans were superior, they would have beaten us, okay? So just remember that. It was just progress, guys. Hey, liberals, just remember, it's progress.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hey,
that's what you're for, right?
I thought we didn't root for the losing side. I thought we didn't root for the losing side. They lost.
Yeah.
They took the L. So, no, it's called Columbus Day because he won. All right. That's it for tonight's episode. We're going to get out of here now. So I'll flip it over to you guys so you guys can tell everyone what you got coming up. Rick, we'll start with you.
All right. I've got upcoming reviews. I'm going to review, I know Jurassic World, that's coming up. I'm still trudging my way through every With Love Megan episode, so please send your thoughts and prayers. And yeah, I've got other reviews coming up. So yeah, it's just basically more reviews and trying to find 5 films to put as my best. I'm struggling here. I mean, I can think of a few, but there's just not much that I'm enthusiastic for. Even the newest Your Generation Citizen Kane. So yeah, just more reviews of new movies, old movies, and With Love Megan. So yeah, that's pretty much it. God bless everyone.
All right then, Eddie.
Hi everyone. I've been gone for the past couple of weeks because I opened up a restaurant. So
sweet.
Yeah. And we've been working really hard on it. And I got to go back to work in about an hour and a half. So I wanted to stop by and say hello to everybody and say I'm not dead yet.
Okay. Is it like a proper restaurant? Is it like one of those like ghost kitchen type of things? Or
No, it's a legit restaurant. We bought out an old Chinese restaurant and we converted it into, it's still Chinese, but it's Chinese Peruvian restaurant. It's Chinese Peruvian cuisine. Mm-hmm. And it's going pretty well. And if we're going to expand, I'm planning to expand in about 5 or 6 years into a much bigger, better place. And that's going to be the top notch. That's going to be the emerald, high class, hoity-toity type. So, yeah, save your money and come by my restaurant.
Hey, good for you, man.
Peace out.
All right, Rob.
Yeah, I like PF Chang's. So
Is there a button I can just play right now? Like, what is this?
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
I like real Chinese food too. No, it's fine. I'm just finishing up the horror movie month here in October. So just my heavy hitters pretty much left. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. The Thing. They Live. A couple of others here as we wind down October. I've just been really busy with work, with kind of making self-care my priority in terms of my workouts and stuff. So I'm not watching as many movies. So that's a shame. I'll get back to it next month, but just follow me over my Twitter. Hopefully more, Oscar bait movies come out so I have something to talk about, because at this point there's just like the Black Phone 2 isn't going to cut it for me. So but yeah, we'll see you next week on the Barroom. Take care.
All right, letting you know what I got coming up. Going to be a bit of a catch-up weekend for the most part, so there's going to be a lot of catching up to do here. So a lot of content you'll see on the site and on here, getting everything ready for, essentially getting everything ready for, November, where a lot of things are going to change. A lot of the content's going to change around, but it's all going to be good changes. So catch me on the next episode of the Bible Lynch, which is Sunday at 3 p.m. now, so got to get adjusted to the new time zone difference there. But 3 p.m. is going to be where that show takes place. We're going to talk a little bit more about Israel in the context of what's going on. And while 2026 is going to be a very, very important year for Israel, because I think pretty much the entire world's going to turn on them pretty quickly. So that's coming up this week. We have some movie reviews to catch up on before the end of the year happens, and a few other things. I'm hoping to get some of my detailed notes uploaded to the site here too, so that you can all view it over there. I think that'll be a good project to work on, kind of summarizing everything that we've worked on the last couple of years. It's just going to take a little bit of time, so I'm working on that now. As far as that goes, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on tonight's show. Everyone who joined us, thank you very much. I guess we can go with kind of a short intro here and get you guys out of here, because I held you up a little bit longer. But since then, adios, good night, and goodbye. Bye-bye.